What is up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Apple, Spotify, and everyone tuned in on the Texas Sports Unfiltered app? Welcome in to another edition of Bucky and BK live on Texas Sports Unfiltered and on the free TSU app. Today is Thursday, July 24th, 2025, and the Buck and I are with you for the next 2 hours. On today's show, our Texas football fall camp preview continues as we are just 6 days away from the Longhorns' first practice of the fall. We will dive into the wide receivers and tight ends today, plus the biggest ifs for Texas football to win a national championship this coming season. We'll get into that. We've got the latest from Dallas Cowboys and Houston Texans training camps, which are now both underway. Little Major League Baseball to dive into as Shohei Ohtani continues to make history for LA. We've got the latest with A&M's Mascot having to get her eye removed. And, today is National Cousins Day. So happy National Cousins Day to all who celebrate. We'll see how the Buck celebrates that one. A lot to get into in the world of sports and beyond. We are jam-packed from now until 9 o'clock. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us on a Buck Off Thursday. A buck on to you, my man. How are you this morning?
I am good. What a beautiful morning here in Dripping Springs, USA, America. It is absolutely gorgeous out. A little breeze out, a little cool breeze, as a matter of fact, which will last all the way up until when our show ends, and then that'll be over with for the day. And then the heat will be on again, and as we press towards 100. But we're not getting there. Don't worry about it. Cape Andy of Mayberry, and, it's not going to get there. Camp Mayberry is not going to get there. It's not going to hit that 100. It's maybe next week. I don't think this weekend is going to happen.
Calling it Camp Mayberry?
Yeah, Mayberry, USA.
Okay, I like that. You're adding a few letters, but that works for me.
I don't think we're going to get there.
Okay, at some point this weekend, or no?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll take it.
Remember, I'm not a climate guy. I don't guess temperatures. I only do rain. And nobody wants to hear about the rain from me anymore. They want to hear about rain. They don't need any more moisture. Although it will, this place will dry up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Always does.
Yeah. So it's, this time next week, we'll be wishing we had a couple showers, and we'll get them. The way things cloud up around here daily now, it looks like it's going to rain in some places, and it does. But once again, I haven't heard anybody say they got some yesterday. No, I didn't hear anybody say, well, I got some drizzle yesterday. I think it's been all clear. I think it's more towards the northwest. Northeast now, it seems like.
I'll be the climate guy today. It feels like 200.
Okay, then it's 200. Then we're breaking records. If it feels like, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, my God. It is hot. It is muggy. There is no wind. It's
yesterday afternoon was brutal.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, if you have anything you got to get done, get it done early, because when you get to 2, 3, 4 o'clock, you're done, son. It's brutal out there.
I went out there 2:30 into the vegetable garden and got some my vegetable garden has gotten so wild. The tomato plants, which I'm not the great tomato farmer, but I've got some in there, but I put 3 plants in one section and they've overrun each other and you can't see the ground. And dude, you don't want to be messing around in the gardens when there's shade, because the snakes like where it's nice and shaded. So I'm in there with my sneakers on and sticking my hands down below with gloves on, just thinking I'm going to come back with a big puncture hole in the glove, some copperhead or rattlesnake in there. But I'm about to, over the next 2 weeks, I'm about to go ahead and yank the tomato plants out of there. They're still blooming as if I'm going to get some, but I can't have that craziness in there. I don't want one to sneak up behind me and get me in my calf muscle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
a hand or something and grab you.
Well, it's going to sneak out the edge of one of these plant boxes and take a bite on me. When you stick your hand underneath there, trying to get I have these little golden cherry tomatoes in there, and so some of them are down below, and you stick your hand down there without, just kind of for feel. You're going to feel the head of some copperhead reaching in there. That's not going to be fun. Plus, I have a fig tree that's within my garden, and snakes will get in trees. Adam and Eve.
You're growing fig Newtons in your backyard now?
I have 2 fig trees. I love figs, boy. Figs and fig plants are like blackberries. Once they start growing, I mean, I brought this last one from the other house that I lived with and replanted it, and it's doing great. Figs are tasty. Go to Whole Foods and see how much a fig, one of those little purple-looking figs, costs. It's ridiculous.
Every time I think of figs, I think of that giant fig Newton sign that's on Ricky Bobby's car in the movie Talladega Nights. He's got that giant advertisement on the windshield in front of him. That's all I think about.
If you're a wino and you like cheese, little cheese, some crackers, figs are a little added taste on that, which I'm not a wino any longer. But I still like figs. I like figs in salad. I like just pulling the fig off, washing it off, and taking a bite out of it. And they're good. So many people that I talk to, so many fellow gardeners out there grew up around fig trees. And I know people that listen to this show must have had them in their yards, whether they're from Houston or, in certain areas, that the fig trees grew up to be, they're like oak trees. They got to be that big. Mine's is just a big bush. But I know people, my daughter talks about the fig tree at her husband's house in Baton Rouge with the temperatures there. It looks like a monster tree, and it gets these figs and hundreds of figs. But for some reason, snakes climb trees, and I think Adam and Eve in the garden, I think that was a fig that I know it was an apple they weren't supposed to take the bite out of, but there were fig trees in that garden. I think that's where the serpent was, up in the fig tree.
Oh, that's where they got, huh?
That's where they got. So when I go into my garden, I'm face level with the fig tree. And snakes do get in trees. I've seen a snake in a tree at the golf course. I drove a golf cart up towards a tree, and I looked up in a branch, and dude was just sitting there looking down at me. I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And as many times as we go in the woods, we never look up for snakes. We're always looking, down on the ground. But those dudes are sitting up on limbs. They can climb.
Well, now I know why you like figs so much. It's a giant bush, and I know you're a huge fan of the giant bush, so that all checks out.
I'm a fan of the bush. Yeah, I got no problems with that at all, man.
Oh, man. All right, before we get to our first buck off of the morning that's already been sent in by our man CB, how about a buck on to the soldiers, Buck?
No doubt about it. Good morning to the soldiers at Fort Hood, Texas, the soldiers in the state of Texas, and all those that fight for us each and every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do appreciate what you do for all of us, all you first responders out there. Thank you also. And to your families, please be safe out there. We're getting close to those back to school. I know those kids are starting to think it's coming up soon.
Oh, the commercials have already started. I mean, they started like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I felt like as soon as we got past Independence Day, it was back to school time at Target and Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, Target's having a blast. They're trying to get you in their Target clothes and their pens that break after the first hour of use. They'll pop and break.
I'm a kid. I'm boycotting Target. Like whoever's first to the back to school ads, I'm not shopping there for the next year. Why are you trying to rush me out of summer? All right. Let me enjoy my time away from class, please. It's always the worst going back to school. I know the parents love it. So congrats to you parents. We're getting closer and closer to the kiddos going back to school. But as a student, I dreaded those. Dreaded those.
No, I didn't feel so bad. I kind of, school wasn't bad for me. I didn't mind. Only thing I didn't mind is, do I have enough khaki pants and ties to go to the Catholic school? Because you had to have more than 2 or 3. Plus, you had brothers and sisters there that had to be all tied up, with their ties and their little uniforms going to the Catholic school. Couldn't stroll in there with a fake tie or something that you made up that looked like a tie. You had to have the uniformity you had to walk around with.
No clip-on ties, huh?
No clip-ons. I think in North Carolina, as a grade schooler, first, second grader, I think clip-ons, little clip-ons were allowed. But once you got to 5th, 6th, 7th, and you got ready for middle school, they didn't buy that. Your ass better, mom better be able to tie that tie, and you better not untie. You better be able to just put it like a noose around your neck and do it back up. Because if you couldn't tie, I learned how to tie a tie in 5th grade.
Yeah, it's a good skill right there. I think
Yeah,
I learned.
and I still do it the same old way. I use this small knot. I don't use that big ass thing that looks like it's ready to choke you. I see
uh,
people still using the big knot at the end. I'm like, nah,
You
I
a
need the little one. Just
continental guy? You a Windsor guy? A half Windsor guy?
I'm a
What's your
Windsor
move?
guy, yeah.
All right, I like that right there. You know how to tie a bow tie?
No, not even close. Don't even try. I never even attempted to do that.
I learned that one a few months
I just
ago, and
needed to
I'm
tie that tie and tie my shoelaces, and I was good to go.
yeah, that's all you need. I mean, that's look, you got to know how to tie a standard necktie. The bow tie,
Sure.
I think you should know, but you're not going to wear that nearly as often as you'll wear a regular tie.
Are you
The
saying you
clip
can do
on.
a bow tie? You can go bow tie? You can do a bow tie?
You go bow tie now. I finally manned up and learned how to do that. I've been to 50 freaking weddings in the last 6 months.
Yeah, you're like a
So,
haberdasher. I mean, do the guys come to you for their bow tie? They
yeah,
meet you in the men's room and you tie all the guys' ties for them. That's sweet.
I tie all the guys' ties. I zip up and down the girls' dresses. I do all those things,
Oh, you're the zipper too? They trust you to be the ones behind them?
whatever it takes, man. Whatever you got to do,
Yeah, if you have that's a good skill.
It's a good skill to have. Yeah, I'm the best dress zipper this side of the Mississippi. All
You
right.
were probably a pretty good bra guy. I was not. I was fumble fingers.
Oh no.
I was always back. I was always the one that hurt. Like, hey, what are you doing back there? It's not that difficult. I was the rude. I was the mood wrecker. You know, in my high school days. I was not smooth with that ordeal in the back there.
Mm.
I had to wait till I seriously had to wait till I was almost married and got real practice with my first wife on how to do that. Here's how to do it. It's really not just simple. I'll show you about 4 or 5 of these different gadgets, and then I'll put them on, and you just get them on. I mean, I had to learn from my first wife.
You'd be back
Dude,
there with 2 hands, like doing
oh yeah.
everything, trying to.
Oh no. I can think now. I think I can do the left hand one-hander now. You know.
Yeah, one hand. You got to be able to one hand it. That's how they
Yeah,
know you're a
I
pro.
was
That's how
awful.
they know you've done it.
I was back there like this, and the cups would switch boobs and things like that because I was just so
She's
hard.
like in pain. Like, what are you doing to me? Why is this
Dude, I was
happening?
horrible. It's like she goes, you don't have to tie me up. Everything's good. But I was awful. I was fumble fingers there. I got these big old hands and big old feet, and now I'm starting to think, I talked to my doctor yesterday. I wanted to ask him, I said, I'm doing these face first dives here lately. So that's why I'm doing some rehab stuff. And then he looked at my feet. He goes, damn, you got some big feet for a little guy. I'm like, Doc, what are you trying to say? He's saying, well, as you get older, these aren't 8s, are they, or 9s? I said, no, this is a size 12. He goes, well, your reaction time is a little different, but your feet time are the same, He goes, those things can get in your way now. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? Do I need to cut some toes? Do I need to get some inches off these feet or something?
You got to
No.
amputate a couple of them.
He said, they just don't move like they used to. And they're big.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, by the way, you're right. My last couple headers have been because of my feet getting tangled. I haven't slipped or anything else. I stumble because of these big ass feet. So we're going to have to have some feet reduction done here, maybe.
Did you tell him, what else is big, Doc?
No, I didn't say that. We didn't want to go that direction.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah, that's for a guy your size at like what, 5'4", 5'5". The fact that you have a size
5'9".
That is pretty ridiculous.
Well, that's why I can never run faster than 4, 5, 8.
Yeah. Like I'm 6'1", 6'2", and I wear 13, sometimes 14, but like I'm, 6, 7 inches taller than you and only 1 foot size bigger than you. And I have relatively big feet for a guy my size. So you're very abnormal with that.
Yeah, and everything else is slowed up, but the feet are still the same. So they kind of hit each other every once in a while. And that's why I've been going down. So now I've got to learn how to pick those bad boys back up. It's like I was 15. And I look like an idiot walking like that, but that's okay.
Stomping around like Bigfoot.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Can't wear the shoes in the house anyway. So and my wife hears me coming. She goes, I can hear those big ass feet coming down the hall.
That's good. That means you're not sliding them. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to. You're absolutely right. I'm getting
Love
better
it.
at that.
Oh, man. All right. Buck off to Lionel Messi. Didn't think we'd start with MLS talk today, but we did have the MLS All-Star game here in Austin last night. Shout out to the MLS All-Stars beating the Liga MX All-Stars 3-1 at Q2 Stadium. But we were wondering if Lionel Messi was going to show up and play in this game, and he did not.
Did he even show up?
I don't think he did.
He was in Messyville somewhere. He's not going to hang around here.
No, and that's disappointing. Look, it was still a great crowd last night, and Brad Stuver, who was the lone all-star for Austin FC, he started the game in goal, and he had 35, 36 shutout minutes before they took him out of the game and put in a sub. It's the all-star game. Everybody gets to play, but obviously the biggest storyline and the thing that most people were most excited about was Leo Messi playing in his first ever MLS All-Star game, and well, he no-showed.
So, come on, man. You can show up in Miami. You can't show up in Austin.
Buck off. It's short-sighted. It's soft. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. And he is no longer my GOAT. It's now
was he catching a bunch of it too on social media?
Yeah, he was. I mean, look, he's got so many fans. There were a bunch of people defending him. Wow, why would he go play in 95-degree heat? And it's an all-star game, and it doesn't matter. And he's already doing MLS a favor by playing in that league when he could be playing in a better league overseas. So, of course, he's got, the D riders showing him some love. But obviously people around here and MLS fans and Liga MX fans are not real thrilled. And I understand why. I mean, it's like he's the biggest figure in the sport. LeBron James opting out of an all-star game. But he's bigger than LeBron James. Like, it's a guy you want to go see, and I'm sure a lot of people bought tickets thinking that they were going to get the chance to see Lionel Messi, and he's never played a game at Austin FC. I don't think he's ever played a game in Texas in his life. So you're thinking this might be my only time to get to see one of the greatest athletes in human history play a game, and he just decided he didn't want to. It's not like he told people a month ago, "Oh, I'm not playing." He led you to believe that he was going to be there, and then he wasn't there. So
he was at Target back to school shopping.
Maybe that's what he was doing. He does have a few kids. So maybe he was getting them ready for school. There's no way Leo Messi goes to Target. And that's not a shot at Target. It's like if he needs something at Target, he sends like his assistant or somebody to go to Target for him, right?
Well, yeah, if he can't show up for this, he ain't going in Target.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to deal with the hoopla. If Leo Messi's in Target, it should be a 5-minute trip. You're going to get one thing. It turns into an hour-and-a-half trip with all the people who are trying to stop you. That guy, especially in Miami, like that guy's not going around anywhere and not getting noticed and not getting stopped. But I think he's going to have to serve a 1-game suspension now with his Inter Miami club. I don't think he cares. They play a lot of matches in MLS, so I think.
Miami they'll tell that dude. They'll just tell that dude, "Hey, stay home tonight. This is the game that you're not going to play." He'll be fine. I don't have to come to the stadium. Not tonight. Just hang out at home. We'll see you at practice.
Yeah, he'll take the day off. I think he's perfectly fine with that. But a little bit of a bummer. Buck off to Leo Messi again. A chance to
and he gives no reasoning himself. He never or any of his spokespeople talking.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. I'd be lying if I told you I was super locked in to this story. I did flip the game on, and I watched most of it last night on Amazon Prime because, remember, it wasn't on television, which is ridiculous. An all-star game, not on TV for people to watch. But, didn't see him, and just he never showed up. So, bad bit there, Messi. Bad bits. Hey, Buck on it.
That's bad. Just show up in the city at least. Wave to the people.
Yeah, just go to the game. You don't have to play. Just show face, wave a couple of times, and people would have been happy.
Yeah.
And we're not sending you to Columbus. We're not sending you to Tuscaloosa.
No.
Like, you're going to Austin, is one of the coolest cities in the country. Like, we're not sending you to a place you don't want to hang out in. There's plenty to do here. You don't even have to spend a day. Just show up for a couple of hours and then leave if you don't like this place. But,
you don't even have to like it. Just show up in a city that is awaiting your arrival just for a couple minutes.
You you do make a lot of money from this league. I think you owe him that. Buck on to Shohei Ohtani. Buck, how about
Wow, he is
a home
that
run in
guy's on fire.
five straight games with the homer for Shohei. He's the first player to do that since your guy, Aaron Judge, last year. But that ties a Dodgers franchise record. It's the 7th time in LA Dodgers history that has happened. If you're curious, the all-time Major League Baseball record for most consecutive games with the homer, that is 8. It was Dale Long, Don Mattingly, and Ken Griffey Jr.
Don Mattingly. Wow.
The great Dandy Don Mattingly. And then Griff did it in 1993. He's the last player to go 8 straight games with the homer. We'll see if Shohei can get closer to that, but he leads the National League with 37 bombs. And as long as that dude stays on the field, he is going to run away with the MVP award again.
Yes.
He's pretty damn good at baseball. Astros get a win yesterday. Rangers get a win yesterday. Your guy, Aaron Boone, got ejected and the Yankees lost north of the border to Toronto yesterday. I know you're ready for that dude to be done managing.
Yeah. And when has Toronto become this Yankee killer now all of a sudden this year? Now, the Yankees used to just tear them apart. Used to tear them apart like Tampa would beat them the first 2 games of the season, and the Yankees would win every game from that point on. Toronto's doing the same to the Yankees now.
Yeah, those games are fun. Toronto just took 2 of 3 from the Yankees up north of the border. It feels like they've been playing a lot lately.
Yes.
And the Blue Jays have been one of the hottest teams in baseball over the last 2 months. They actually lead the AL East by 4 games over your Yankees right now. So the Yankees been scuffling a little bit, but also the Jays have been red hot. And they're the best team in that division right now. And
the Jays remind me of Seattle. They'll start to shut it down here in the middle of August when they really need it. They'll get a slump, but they lose like 6 games in a row, get caught, and still won't even get to the playoffs. They won't even get a wild card. They'll fade, like Seattle fades the same way.
Yeah, Seattle always fades. I got more faith in Toronto holding up than I do the Mariners, but you're right. I mean, we'll see if the Jays can hold on. Still a long way to go. We haven't even hit the trade deadline yet. It's going to be interesting to see, which of these teams. Obviously, the Astros should be buyers, first place in the AL West. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and a lot of the bigger market teams that are in contention this year. Of course, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Phillies, San Diego. There's going to be a lot of teams that are trying to buy.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, with the expanded wild card in baseball these days, not as many teams are willing to sell because more teams are in the mix to make a playoff spot, and teams believe that they have a chance to make a second half push because of the expanded postseason. So I don't know how much movement we'll have over the next week before we get to the deadline, but obviously it'll be interesting to watch to see what the big dogs do. And maybe your Yankees start to feel a little desperate with the way they've been playing, and they go try to make a big splash here in the next few days.
Well, they need to do something because they know Aaron Judge will start to falter once the playoffs come. He's playing pretty well right now. He's still hitting home runs, hitting for average. But we know what happens at playoff time. So they need to get a couple of guys hot towards the end. They need to win the division, and they need to get guys hot at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the question for Judge, right? I mean, Judge is the heavy favorite to win AL MVP right now, and he's having a tremendous season. He continues to play well, but can he get over that hump in the playoffs? That's been his bugaboo in his career.
Yep.
The Yankees got to get there first. I mean, they're in the first wild card spot right now in the American League, so they're fine, but they don't have the biggest cushion in the world. They've got to make sure they get things back on track. Yeah, we'll see. And then them and the Red Sox are fighting for second place right now in that division. That'll be fun to watch. By the way, congrats to the Colorado Rockies. One more baseball nugget here, Buck. The Rockies beat the St. Louis Cardinals 6-0 yesterday. It's the first shutout for the Rockies in 221 games.
Man.
That ended the third longest shutoutless streak in MLB history. Their last shutout was May 15th, 2024. Buck, the Rockies are the only team since 1900, the year you were born, to go more than 200 games without a shutout. They went 221 without. Only the Washington Senators, who went 383 games from 1893 to 1896, and the St. Louis Browns / Perfectos, because they got a name change in there. And also, what a hilarious name that is, the Perfectos.
It's terrible.
Did you know that was a baseball team at some point?
No, I don't even remember that name.
Right before you were born. They went 298 games without a shutout from 1897 to 1899. But again, since 1900, the Rockies had by far and away the longest team shutout-less streak in baseball history. That ended last night. But Colorado is now 26-76 this season.
Nice 26 wins. My high school football number, very nice.
50 games under 500. They have won back-to-back series for the first time all year, so break up the Rockies. Congrats to them for
their manager has a good chance of being fired.
Oh, he already got fired.
Unless he's already been fired, and they've got another.
The interim manager might get fired.
Okay,
has that ever happened? An interim manager gets fired, like maybe some guy got arrested or did something illegal, so they had to can him. But has anyone like fired an interim guy for performance?
After the regular guy got fired, and then for the rest of the year, they fired the interim guy then before the season ended. I don't recall that ever happening.
Maybe there's one incident, but I don't either. Like look, the Rockies are awful. They have no players, so I don't know how much like.
Generally they play it out with an interim guy. They play it out because they understand. Let's just leave this pat right here, and we'll figure out everything at the end of the year. But to get fired as the interim, that's pretty bad if that happens to you.
I'll see if that happens. I don't think it will. I'm not keeping up with the Rockies too much. That team sucks. Joe Torre couldn't help them win right now. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad news bears in Denver at this team. With
Joe Torre's still alive and well.
You're the Yankees guy. That's for you to know.
Huh.
I think he's alive. Yeah.
Why can't we bring him back then? Let's make that move.
Well, he's not dead. We don't need to bring him back from the dead. He's still living.
Bring him back to New York.
Oh, to the Yankees.
Yeah. That guy's got to be 83.
Joe Torre, still alive at 85.
Bring him back. He's still got some wear and tear on him. Let's go, man. Bring him back to New York.
His remaining years, put him back in the dugout, huh?
Get the pinstripes on him. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure some Yankees fans would love that, but
some Yankees fans would do that today.
85. You trust him?
Yes.
No, he's a great manager, one of the best to ever do it. But God, in his mid-80s, I think I'd take Aaron Boone over that guy. I think.
Think about it.
I think. All right, we'll take your thoughts. There's a little randomness.
What did you? Huh? Oh, look who just said something. He said, "What about me? What about me?" I said, "You got too many girls now. You got too many daughters. You got to take care of them."
Would you want Jeets to manage your Yanks?
No, I wouldn't want to see that. That place would tear him up. All he'd have to do is get on a losing streak, and he would be hurt too easy. He's very, he's kind of soft.
Oh, that's your favorite athlete ever. You're calling him soft?
I mean, at his age right now, kidding me, with all those daughters that he has, you know how soft he's become now?
All right. Dang. I didn't think I'd ever hear you slander Derek Jeter's name, but here we
are. Still drive a car through the rain to get to his kids through storms.
I'm sure he drives a Jeep and nothing nicer, right?
No, that's all he drives is Jeep.
I'm sure that's it. Yeah, that's how it works. You could be a great player. If you get hired on as a coach, your fan base could turn on you pretty quickly.
Yes, they can. They would.
Aaron Boone obviously wasn't Derek Jeter as a player, but responsible for one of the most iconic moments in modern Yankees history. And now everyone's ready to get him out of town. They're tired of him.
My God, Joe Torre, 85.
85 years young. Yeah, it's an old man right there. Old man.
Absolutely. Once you hit 80, that's it. They become old then.
Become old at that point. All right, we'll take
80 is not the new 50 or the new 40. 80 that's when you get old.
Well, to me, 80 is 80.
Yeah, it is.
You make it to 80. Look, that's great. You're 80. But it ain't 50 or 40 or 60 or nothing else.
No, it's not.
You got some mileage.
I hear people try to make that. I hear people saying, no, that's the new deal. I'm like, no, that's when you can go ahead and determine that yeah, you're old and you've done pretty good getting to be 80. 70 is all right. 70 can be that 50 or 60 still hanging in there. But once you hit the big 80, that's a different world, brother.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you still have your marbles with you when you get to
Yeah,
that
if
age.
you can keep your marbles with you and you can keep the car keys, that's okay.
You
But
don't need the car keys at 80. Hand those off to the
no,
kids and the
no,
grandkids.
no, no, no. You still should be able to handle the car at 80. You should be able to handle going to HEB or to Marshalls or to Academy Sports and Outdoors or gyms. You should be able to go there at 80.
Just go to a home. That's where you should be going.
No, no. Hey, not even if you're alone, not even if your partner's gone, you don't need to head to assisted living at 80.
It's a
No,
retirement community, Buck. It's a
no. It's what
retirement
they call
community.
us assisted living. I don't want any assistance in living. I just want to live.
You get to hang out. You get to bang a bunch of olds. That's what they do at those places. Like get a couple
Assisted living syphilis, no thank you. I don't want it.
Get some
No,
AIDS if you would like, Donald Sterling. Come on, man.
no,
It's
dude.
nothing but perks. Everyone does stuff for you. They cook your meals. They run your errands, and then you
They
get to bang
change
it
you,
out.
they change your diapers. No, no,
Change-
I'm still rolling 80, 70s, 80s, no.
Okay.
85, no.
Ho-
Assisted living is 90s.
Hopefully you have the choice at that
Yeah. Oh,
age.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
that's
like
what
when somebody
you
will
need.
be making that choice for me.
Yeah. Retirement community. Watching The Sopranos. That's a big
I got a
part of
mother-in-law
that.
who's 96.
You do?
Joyce's mom is 96.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
And
That's and she's
they're finally
she's at home?
doing stuff. No, they're finally doing stuff with the car in the house. And
Wow.
she's going, but it's taking this long.
She's been
And but
fighting it, I'm sure.
oh my God, every day is a battle. Every day is a battle for this or that, or me, how much shit I would want to keep of mine.
Yeah. I feel like my generation is gonna have no problem going to a place like that because we're
They're not
so
going to have
lazy.
anything. They don't want anything. They're minimalist as it is. I would believe most of
Uh,
them, right?
yeah, I'm just thinking like we're just really lazy, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
someone's gonna take care of us. We don't have to cook. We don't have to clean. We don't have to do anything anymore. Yeah, I'd live there right now if I
let's
could. You kidding me?
let's go at 35. Can we go to assisted living at 35?
I mean, you see what I do in my apartment. I get folks in here to change my light bulb. You're telling me they can cook my food too? Thank you very
Oh
much.
my, oh my goodness.
I'll take that. All right. We got to get one of them as a sponsor on our show at some point. Now we're talking. All right, let's dive into some Texas football. But
All right,
before
buddy.
we do, by the way, we're going to continue our Texas football fall camp preview series. A couple of days ago, we looked at the quarterback room. Yesterday, we talked running backs. Today, we're talking pass catchers. We'll dive into the wide receiver
right.
and tight end rooms and preview those as we get closer and closer to fall camp and obviously the start of the season. But before we dive into the horns, how about a few sponsor shout outs?
Folks, if you're seeking specialized patient-focused orthopedic care, contact our friends at Texas Orthopedics. Their physicians offer surgical and, of course, non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adults, spinal care, sports medicine, trauma care, joint replacement, rheumatology. Dr. Danny, Dr. Stockton are dedicated orthopedic surgeons there, and their goal is to get you right back into good health and the great quality of life that you deserve. So if you're going to need that knee replacement or you're having some problems with the joint pain, look for the folks at Texas Orthopedics. They are the largest independent orthopedic practice in the state of Texas. For more information, go to txortho.com.
Yes, indeed. I'm rocking the OLIPOP hat this morning. Love repping OLIPOP. Love drinking OLIPOP as well. If you haven't tried OLIPOP yet, you are missing out. I've got to restock. I'm down my last cherry cola during yesterday's show. Got to get me a few more at the store today. But OLIPOP is the game changer of all game changers. A new kind of soda. That's their slogan. That's exactly what they are. They've got 19 flavors. They all taste like soda, the soda you've been drinking for years. But the difference between OLIPOP and the sodas you've been drinking in the past, OLIPOP is actually good for you. 9 grams of fiber in every can. They've got ingredients in there that support good digestive health. So you're supporting your taste buds when you drink OLIPOP because it tastes fantastic. but you're also supporting your gut health. We're talking about being healthy well into your 70s and 80s and 90s. This is one of those steps you can take. Stop drinking the traditional soda. You know it's bad for you. Don't do it. Drink OLIPOP instead. You can get some wherever you buy your groceries. H-E-B, Target, Costco, Walmart, Whole Foods. They've got you covered. Next time you shop, make sure you shop OLIPOP.
And folks, our good friends over at Relax the Back with their two great locations in Bee Caves at the Hill Country Galleria, across from Whole Foods, and of course in North Austin at the Gateway Shopping Center, across from the Container Store. All the accessories that you need to help you feel great with your shoulders, your lumbar area, your hips, you can find it at Relax the Back.
Yes, indeed. I love my Relax the Back chair. And
man.
Also, yeah, the best. Also, shout out to our friends at Covert Bee Cave. I'm going to go out to Covert Bee Cave today just to say hi. Yeah, just to say hi. Those guys are friends of mine. They're family at this point. They've been big partners of TSU for a long time. And obviously, they've been big partners with the Central Texas community for more than 100 years. The Covert Auto Group has been around forever, still family owned and operated, the best in the business when it comes to car dealerships. So if you are in the market for a newer pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, head out to Covert Bee Cave. Hell, if you go today, you can say hi to me. I don't know if that's a perk. That might be a reason not to go today, but they've got the best selection of vehicles in Central Texas. About 42 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. So if you're not 100% sure what you're looking for, just go to covertbeecave.com or head out to their giant lot, walk around, see what you like. And they've got fantastic people to work with. And what do they say about those Covert prices, Buck?
Nobody beats a Covert deal. Not now, not ever.
Not ever. CovertBeeCave.com. Again, that's their website, or go see them off Highway 71. It is Covert Bee Cave. All right. We are now 6 days away from the start of Texas fall camp, and we are 37 days away. Didn't Ricky Williams wear that number at one point, Buck?
He did. That was Doak Walker's number, I believe.
There you go.
In honor of Doak Walker, he wore that.
The great Doak Walker. That's awesome.
Yes.
37 days away from Texas, Ohio State. But of course, training camp starts next week. We have been doing a position-by-position preview of some of the biggest storylines to be on the lookout for when fall camp rolls around. And today we are talking about the pass catchers. So we're combining receivers and tight ends into one category for the sake of time. And Buck, the Longhorns have a lot to replace. Their top two pass catchers from 2024 are gone, with Gunnar Helm and Matthew Golden. Of course, the three transfer receivers that Texas brought in last offseason are all gone. The top three tight ends from last season are all gone. So a lot to replace. We know how good Matthew Golden was. We know how good Gunnar Helm was. Even though Isaiah Bond and Silas Bolden didn't put up good numbers, they were solid players here, and they were guys that opposing defenses had to respect. The group of pass catchers is going to look vastly different for Texas this coming season.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the kind of athletic ability that when I look at these guys that Golden had. I mean, but once again, you can't underestimate more, because nobody knew a thing about that dude, how he was going to be. And I thought he was becoming really, really special until that toe injury. Then he just kind of disappeared. Wingo has all the ability in the world, but does that translate from his freshman year into his sophomore year, where he just is going to make things happen without you having to figure out ways to scheme him in the offense? I mean, what I would like to see him do is, last year I think he had maybe 2 reverses. I didn't think that was enough. I think he needed to handle the ball on end arounds and things like that a little bit more, just to open up the offense some and make people think that guy goes in motion. They could jet sweep him. We're not just moving over for the sake of moving over to get into coverage. We need to move over in order to come up, because if they hand him the ball, that guy's pretty effective running the ball. I don't recall him having but maybe 2 handoffs. That has to be more than that, because I think he's a really viable, runner when he has the ball in his hands. He's hard to bring down. He's a big old dude, and I'm not saying every time you have a jet sweep, you need to get 60 yards or 40 yards. But if you get 8, 9 effective yards as a runner with that guy, and people have trouble bringing him down, I think you have to use that more. That's part of your run game. And I don't think they used him enough in the run game. Will he be better as a pass catcher? Yeah, from your freshman year to your sophomore year. And with the group with Sark and with Coach Jackson with him, he's going to get better in some of the nuances of being a receiver at this level. But
Mhm.
I just don't know if he has that kind of body control that we saw out of Matthew Golden. And over the last 2 years, those guys that went in the first and second round in the NFL draft, I don't know if we see that from him. That would be great to see. If that guy does that, then he's going to be really hard to stop if he has that kind of body control where you throw it up and he just out muscles guys, and he's going to out jump them and just make low catches and everything else. I don't know if he's there yet. That it could show up. It just could show up that he's matured enough in 1 year because he's got all the means, because he's got the coaches and he's got the body for it. I know one thing that we did see when you put the ball in his hands and he went on reverses and things like that. That guy's hard. That guy's hard to tackle. If it's athlete to athlete and you're one-on-one in open space with him, good luck.
It was
I just need
5
to see more.
carries.
Don't you think they could do more of it with him?
Yeah, well, I think he's going to have a bigger role in this offense this year. I mean, he didn't put up the craziest numbers in the world as a freshman, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he was behind so many guys on the depth chart.
Sure.
He just wasn't really a focal point of this offense this year. I think he's going to have to be. He might be the number one receiver on this team this year. So I think naturally, because he's going to get more reps, his numbers are going to improve a lot. And then back to your question about the run game, 5 carries for 100 yards last year for Ryan Wingo. Of course, he had the big 55-yard end around in that win at Michigan early in the season.
He touched it 5-10. Okay, 5 times. Okay.
Right. So 5 carries for 100 yards and 29 catches last year, 472 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'll be looking at that stat, and someone will say, well, remember he had a 50-some yard run. I'll be like, I don't give a shit. That counts too. Just if those 5 per average are pretty good for me to know that I need to give him the ball more somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 55, look, he still had 45 yards on the other 4 runs that he had. So it's not like he had, 5 carries for 56 yards and 55 of them were on one play. Like, I don't know how much that's going to get used this year because, again, he might be your number 1 wide receiver. Last year,
I mean, if he's at that point, then you feel like you can throw it to him more, then that's fine. I don't need to see, but I know this, he can sure help out your run game. He's going to do things to your defense when he's in motion, whether he touches it or not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying to hand the ball off to him more. I wonder how much that will be a part of this offense. It feels like Sark just did that because he knew Wingo was good and he wanted to get him the ball. So how can I get this guy the ball just to get him some run? And now it's like he needs him to be receiver. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But
I would have felt more comfortable with that guy at the 1 yard line going in motion and the quarterback handing him the ball on the jet sweep, that he would get to the corner and have a chance than toss sweeping it to the guy who's back there 8 yards.
Is there a door number 3? Because that would have also been a shitty play call.
Giving it to the guy back there at 8 yards. Giving it to the guy at 8 yards coming downhill and getting it at the 2 going in. How's that?
Yeah, no, we don't need any reverses. We don't need any toss sweeps. We don't need the ball going backwards when we're at the goal line, coach. Let's play downhill if we can there. But you're right. If those are my 2 choices, then I would have taken a Wingo end around for sure. I think the biggest question, I think there are 2 big questions with the Texas wide receiver room going into camp. Number 1, who is the number 1? Is it Ryan Wingo? Like, I think he's got more potential than just about anybody in that room. And you look at some of the other 5-star receivers who are in his recruiting class. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in the country. Ryan Williams at Alabama. I think he's 18. Not sure if you've heard that. Cam Coleman at Auburn, the guys at Clemson. Like, those guys were right around Ryan Wingo. Some of them ranked ahead, but they were basically right there with Ryan Wingo in terms of recruiting grades in high school.
Right.
And all of those guys made a huge impact in their first years of college. Again, Wingo didn't have to at Texas, but like, can he do in year 2 maybe what those guys did in year 1, where he's just a total difference maker and a number 1?
Yeah, he has to do better than they did in their freshman. They just can't come. Well, the guys at Clemson just more or less kind of came onto the scene. The other guys were studs immediately. Ohio State, Alabama. They were studs from the time they got there. The guys at Clemson were probably studs. They just didn't get it going until later on in the year. Once they got their feet under them as freshmen, they got really, really good. And you saw that what their potential was. This kid is just, I'm gonna think Sark is gonna find a way to get the ball to him so that he gets the kind of confidence he needs that by game, hell, it's not going to be game 4 because you need him in game 1. Where it's nice to be able to talk about teams that are playing nobodies in game 1 and 2, and then getting ready for the conference play in 3 and 4. This one, number 1, counts immediately. That guy has to have a hell of a catchy catch this summer, and make a really big change for this team in himself and for his teammates immediately in game 1. There's no waiting to the week after and the week after that, and then wait till you get to Florida. It's in game 1. They need him immediately.
All right. And our guy CB points out that Ryan Wingo had LASIK surgery this offseason. So it helps to see the ball when you're trying to catch the ball.
It helps if you're a pass catcher that you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. So maybe that
it's
helps,
almost like having hands as a wide receiver. It helps if you have some pretty decent hands.
Yeah, it'd be tough to play the position if you were born without hands. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, it would be.
I don't know. They might move you to a different spot on the field, or maybe to a different sport if that's your reality. So is Ryan Wingo the number 1, or is DeAndre Moore the number 1? Like, of all of the returning wide receivers, he had the best numbers last year. 39 catches, 456 yards, 7 touchdowns. His best game of the year was the Mississippi State game that Arch Manning started. 4 catches, more than 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. So those guys had a little chemistry when they were on the field at the same time. DeAndre Moore, though, he had a great game in the SEC championship against Georgia. But outside of that, his numbers really fell off down the stretch. I went back and looked this up just to make sure my memory wasn't deceiving me. 1 catch for -8 yards against Arkansas. 0 catches against Kentucky. 2 catches for 10 yards against A&M. And then he had 8 total catches in the 3 playoff games.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that kid was hurt way before we were actually told that he was hurt. Was he just going in games and not letting anybody know that he was banged up and not being able to really run routes the way he was used to running them? And they just had to play. They felt like they had to play him more because he was the veteran guy there and had the experience. I got a feeling he may have been a little hurt a little sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a chance that that toe issue that he had to get cleaned up in the offseason. And by the way, that caused him to be a limited participant in spring practice. I think there's a very good chance. I mean, they told us after the season ended that was bothering him down the stretch.
Well, so we knew. I think people were knowing that. Why has this guy disappeared? It's not that they weren't throwing to him. He wasn't able to run the routes. I think people started to figure out there's something going on with this guy. This guy was too good too early.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, 39 catch. He didn't put up ridiculous numbers, but he was better early in the year.
Yes.
And it makes sense when you look at his stats down the stretch that something was hampering him. And I think, I don't want to say it's a good thing the guy had off-season surgery, but like that's like, you can point to that as maybe a reason why things didn't end the way that we had hoped they would for DeAndre Moore.
Yeah. So that group will have to really step up, BK. That's a group over the last 2 years. It's very similar to the defensive line who's gotten it done over the last 2 years. This group got it done over the last 2 years, and they can't have a significant drop-off. Although I think they're going to have a drop-off because I don't think there's anybody in that group, with the exception of possibly the tight end, that's going to be better than a 2nd or 3rd round pick. You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't think Matthew Golden was going to be a 1st-round pick at this time last year. I mean, the guy had a couple of solid seasons at Houston, but we had no idea he was going to turn into the guy that he was.
But when we watched him just through our vision, I knew this. I didn't think he was anything worse than a 2nd round pick, a late 2nd round pick anyway.
That feels like revisionist history. Like, obviously, as the start of the season went and as the year went along, we're like, okay, this guy's special. But like, Matthew Golden, he was the 3rd best transfer receiver Texas brought in. Like, Isaiah Bond was supposed to be the 1st round pick. And then Silas Bolden had put up better numbers at Oregon State before. So like, we thought Matthew Golden was going to make an impact, but I don't think we were having conversations at this time last year, Buck, about Matthew Golden being a 1st.
Oh no, not this early in the season. Hell no.
But right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, one of these guys might step up and be the next Matthew Golden. Like, because we didn't know Matthew Golden was going to be as good as he was. So that's the hope, is like, whether it's DeAndre Moore or Ryan Wingo, or, your transfer, Emmett Mosley, the fifth, coming in from Stanford. If you want to make the transfer comparison, then like, you hope one of those guys.
I think he may have the ability, because he played a lot as a freshman. And he played, and they threw the ball to him, and they had a lot of confidence in him. If he gets here and they have a lot of you know how Sark is, if he feels good about you and you make some plays and you get down the field and you make some big catches and you make some tough catches and you make the catches that aren't always thrown directly to you, directly in your hands, a little low catch coming across the middle, and you make the plays, he's going to play you. You're going to get an opportunity with him, and maybe he's that guy going into his sophomore year.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of your top three, right? Like, could he be number one at the end of the season? Potentially. You look at his numbers at Stanford last year.
Are we talking about a 5'8", 5'9" guy? Are we talking about a short dude?
No, I don't think he's that short. I'll double check the height. If it's in this Phil Steele magazine. 6'2", according to Phil Steele.
Okay.
That's not 5'8", 5'9". Don't try to bring everyone down to your short ass level.
That's good. It's 6'1" or above for wide receiver. That's good stuff.
Yeah, 6'2", 205 is what he's listed at. But 48 catches, 525 yards. Again, more than any Texas receiver had last year, or any returning Texas receiver, I should say. 6 touchdowns. Buck, he only played 9 games at Stanford. He missed the first month of the year rehabbing an injury that he suffered at the end of his high school career. I think that's kind of why Mosley wasn't as highly touted of a recruit, because he missed most of his senior year with an injury and then had to rehab it. So he did that in 9 games with worse quarterback play, obviously, and with lesser talent around him. So my big question with Mosley is, like, he didn't get here until after the spring. So does he have enough time to learn the playbook and earn the respect and the trust of the coaches? Because you said it, like Sark and Chris Jackson, they keep a pretty tight wide receiver room. Now, if you're good enough, they'll play you. But like, does he have enough time with the summer and in training camp this fall to prove that he is one of the top guys and worthy of getting a bunch of snaps?
No, I don't know who else does. Are you going to bring some 5-star or 4-star freshman from the high school ranks to do what a guy has done in college already? I wouldn't think so. I would think he'd have to be right there. I don't care if he just got off the bus yesterday. He's got more experience than any of those kids that you're going to put on the field when fall camp comes.
I'm with you 100%. 100%. And that's my other big question, right? My first question is, who's the number one out of those 3 guys? And then my second question is, what do you have after those 3 guys? Like, I'll give you the stats. How about 0 career catches for every other wide receiver on Texas's roster?
Well, you're going to have to believe in somebody, because somebody's going to have to be your punt returner too. Somebody's going to have to field punts for you. That's probably in that position, or a secondary guy. Generally it's not the guy who plays tight end or the third string quarterback that's your punt returner. Somebody in that room at the wide receiver position or secondary guy is probably going to be your punt returner. And that's total trust right there. You know how that position is. They really have to trust you back there. And if they trust you to that, they're going to trust you as a receiver, I believe.
Kind of like that thought. Third string quarterback as the punt returner. So whoever loses the backup quarterback battle between Matt Caldwell and Trey Owens has to get punts. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, but you might be onto something there.
Well, if you're into your third quarterback, generally it's some dual threat guy that's in high school that can scoot, that throws okay but can take off and run, at any time. So he should be back there. You should trust him as catching punts. He's probably been catching punts as a third string backup. If he's the guy in high school if he's the starter, he's out there early catching punts, showing you that he's a great athlete. So that's okay. So and I'm fine with that. If he's my third quarterback, but he can catch punts, well, his ass is going to be back there catching punts immediately. Because I got to trust that guy. I have to trust that guy. You got to trust the punt returner.
Of course. Well, and you have to trust more than 3 wide receivers on your team too. So who's going to earn that trust? Maybe one of those guys ends up being the punt returner too. We don't know. You just described Roshan Johnson right there with that description. High school quarterback, great athlete, switch positions, go return some kicks. I guarantee
you that kid had one. I guarantee you if you'd have told him he can be your punt returner, he would have learned how to get to the right spot. I mean, he had quick enough ability to get there.
Rojo?
And he was a good enough athlete to do stuff like that.
He did kick returns. Like he was on the return game.
So he can move around. So I would think, but you said Mosley's a 6'2" guy. I generally like those smaller punt returners. So, and they don't have everybody that's in the start that we think is a star. Wingo's a kind of a big kid, and I don't think Moore is 5'9" either. I think they're all like 6 foot and above, aren't they?
Yeah. I think Moore's probably the shortest at right at 6 feet, but you don't have any, Silas Bolden or Xavier Worthy type.
Right.
Those have been your returners, obviously, the last 2 years. So you don't have those at least with your starting wide receivers or your projected.
And that's where these young wide receivers that, want to make the squad and have something to do with what you're doing in year number one. And it may not be at the wide receiver position, but that's where you find out about them. Can they handle that part of it?
That'd be a 180 for Steve Sarkisian because
I'd hate to put that in the hands of a freshman.
Right. I mean, he's gone with like Xavier Worthy, who we really trusted, one of the best players on the team, and then Silas Bolden, who was in his 5th year of college, a bunch of experience return. Like he wasn't going with young guys. He was going with experienced veteran guys who had done it before. So it'd be a little bit of a 180 for Sark if he just says, "Hey, young wide receiver who's never played, you're our starting punt returner this year."
Or maybe they got a secondary kid who returned punts in high school.
There's plenty of candidates. Like you recruit the type of athletes that Texas has, you can teach somebody to go catch punts back there. That's
don't think of that as just some position though. There's too much. There's a lot of trust back there that what you have to do.
Catch the ball, just fair catch it and catch the ball, guy. That's all I need. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's wide receiver 4 right now. Is it Parker Livingston going into his 2nd year? He had a great spring. Before Texas went out and got Emmett Mosley the 5th, people were thinking he was going to be the 3rd wide receiver on this team. Is it him? Is it Aaron Butler, your other 2nd year guy? And then you signed an unbelievably good freshman class at wide receiver. I mean, 4 top 100 players in the country, all at wide receiver.
Somebody in that group is playing a lot of ball.
Yeah. So look, I think we'll see all 4 of those guys weeks 2 through 4. The question is, does any of them do enough in training camp to get to play in Columbus? And then obviously, does anybody do enough during the course of training camp and then weeks 2 through 4 to be a part of things in SEC play this year? So I don't know.
But what we do know is they'll rely on 3 of them, and there'll be a 4th in there that'll get in games. But boy, once they get into their rhythm, they haven't deviated from it over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and you got to worry about injuries.
I'm not mad at them. I'm fine with it.
It's worked. You keep making it to playoff semifinals, then it's hard to criticize too much of what the coach is doing from a personnel standpoint. But look, Texas, like Isaiah Bond got hurt, missed a game or 2 last year, but for the most part, Texas has been relatively healthy at wide receiver the last couple of years. The question is what happens if that doesn't happen? I'll knock on wood to do my part, but I feel good about the first 3, even though we haven't seen Emmett Mosley in a Longhorn uniform yet. I feel like Texas's starting receiving core with Wingo, Moore, and Mosley is very good. But after that, I don't know. And that's a big question, again, for me, and a storyline going into fall camp is what do you have at wide receiver on your 2nd and 3rd unit?
Yeah.
And then
I mean, I can see Livingston kid, as much as they talk about Livingston, I can see him being a punt returner. I see them trusting him enough to stick him back there. If he's got that kind of hands, hey, just catch the ball for us. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. Here, line up and catch it. That's fine.
Has Texas had a white returner since Jordan Shipley? Maybe Jackson Shipley returned some.
I think Jordan was pretty good at it.
He's awesome at it. You kidding me? I wouldn't hate that. We already have a Shipley. Put Mason Shipley, the Texas State transfer kicker, back there. Let him.
No. He's got things to do.
He's a Shipley. Come on, it's special teams. Put him out there.
We can't put him in any off positions. We need him to do things that your guy couldn't do.
Yeah, Bert Auburn, not my guy. Well established, not
the guy's
my
on the
guy.
beach. That guy's getting ready to get his towel ready for the beach today.
That guy's on the beach in Miami not getting laid because no one wants to talk to the kicker with the weird hair. Come on, man. He's the one Miami player not getting tailed.
His hairstyle has changed.
No chance. That's who he is. I wish he did. I wanted him to cut it last year. Maybe he would have made some more kicks.
That dude is in man bun right now down in Miami.
Oh, you think he's changed up the look a little bit?
Big
Kept
man
the hair,
bun red.
Changed the style.
Red man bun.
Oh, he's red now?
Big man bun. Big one.
Oh, big. Okay. Big man. I was like, if you dyed the hair and went man bun, then I don't even know what to do about that one anymore. All right, real quick, we'll do a couple sponsor shout outs, and then we'll dive into the tight end room because Jack Endries keeps getting talked about. We'll dive into him and also try to figure out what else the Longhorns have at tight end going into camp. Before we do that, though, how about another quick round of sponsor shout-outs, Buck?
Shout out to Jane the gang over at Sue Patrick. I got my shirt on today. Look, going Sue Patrick. I got my khaki shorts on, too, looking good in my Sue Patrick gear. And you can, too. 5222 Burnett Road, folks. Go on by the store. Look at the jelly cats. Check out all the clothing that they have. Men's and women's clothing, as a matter of fact. All the apparel that you need for the upcoming football season, you can get it right there. Of course, at Sue Patrick's, and they are plenty of parking space available for you. You don't have to walk miles and miles to get into the store. You're right there in the lot, plenty of parking right at the lot there, and you will love everything. Orders over $49, free shipping, free pickup right there at the store. And, of course, they've got the scheduled glasses and T-shirts. I think they still have them available for you right now at Sue Patrick. For more information, go to SuePatrick.com. Loving this shirt. I'm going to get lots of talk. There'll be a lot of talk about this today.
A little Tommy Bahama action.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. It's a clean look right there.
This is a good one, BK. I thought for some reason this thing was a zip, and this is a button down. This one you can wear for golf or you can go a night out. This is like your Jack Allen special when you're going out with mama for a little fine dining at a place like Jack Allen's.
I like that. Taking mama to the fish market, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Sue Patrick. All right. Also love our friends at AV Consultations. How about a word from our friends over at Audio Visual?
Hey, y'all. I'm Camille McKay.
And I'm Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations.
The old man and I are here to give you your summer weather forecast. It's hot.
That's right, kid.
Which means it's time for pool parties, grilling burgers, and taking a beach vacation, right?
Well, I don't know about a vacation, but Audiovisual brings more heat than any tropical destination.
It was worth a shot. I'll settle for some outdoor speakers.
You know, Audiovisual can do a lot more than that. We provide outdoor video screens, audio systems, landscape lighting, even solar shades for your patio to keep the Texas heat at bay.
Well, I'm sold. Let's wrap this up. I'm ready to lounge on a floaty and listen to some smooth jazz.
Well, that sounds wonderful, but some smooth reggae is the way to go this summer.
Good thing we can listen to both with the Sonos sound system. I call dibs on the floaty, though. Peace out.
Kid, wait a second. Give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit us at avconsultations.com. That's 512-255-8678.
Boom. Love AV Consultations. Get it done by the time football season rolls around, and thank us later. All right. The tight end room, Buck. Jack Endries was named preseason All-SEC third team last Friday, and it just feels like everywhere I turn, I hear or see more positive remarks about Jack Endries, the transfer tight end from Cal, who was not here for the spring, came after spring ball ended, but he is apparently making a big impact already. He hasn't even been a part of a single practice here in Austin. The more I hear about him, the more excited I get. And he'll have a big role. I mean, Gunnar Helm had more receptions and more receiving yards than any tight end in Longhorn history last year. He was one of the best tight ends in America. He was one of the best and most important pieces in the Longhorn offense. Ended up being a fourth-round pick by the Tennessee Titans as well. How do you replace that production? Enter Jack Endries. He needs to be big and big early for this team.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the clutch guys. You know, we talk about the wide receivers, but here's a guy with a lot of experience. Here's a guy that, like you said, everybody's saying nothing but positive things about. I mean, if you didn't know him and you know where he was going or where he came from, you would think he was a kid that left a school where he caught 90 balls, and the next school he's going to, he's going to catch 100 balls, 120 balls. That's what it sounds like, because there's nothing bad said about him. They talk about him. Obviously, he's not a devastating blocker. He's a pass catcher. He gets out in routes and makes plays. And he's now with the right group that can get him in spots where, I mean, if he can do some of the things that the one-on-one things, this group will get him and scheme him up into places where he's going to sit in zones and catch passes too. So, but Gunnar Helm last year was a guy who not only caught the ball, but the stuff that he did after he caught the ball, the extra yards, the extra effort that he gave. I don't know anything about this guy once he catches the ball. I don't know if he catches and falls down. Does he have legitimate enough speed that he's 4'7", 4'8" guy that can catch and at least give you something after the catch? But Gunnar Helm, I didn't give a shit. He would catch the ball and jump over the top of you, try to hurdle you on the sideline, take punishment that he didn't need to take because he gave you that extra effort. I don't know if this is that type of player or is he just a route running phenom that's going to get down into some seams that you're just going to love it about him. But it sounds like he does it. It sounds like he does a bunch of different things really well.
Yeah, 56 catches, 623 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Cal last year.
What is his size? How big is he? Because Gunnar Helm, 240?
6'4", 240.
Well, yeah. Well, then she should be able to do it all on the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage. Get into the secondary, run blocking. That guy should be an all around. At 240, that's an all around guy.
I don't think he's going to be like a great run blocker, but Gunnar Helm wasn't a great run blocker.
No, I don't need that at tight end anyway.
Yeah, I think that's why you have a second tight end. Bring that guy in. 12 personnel, 22 personnel. Bring a second tight end in and let him be the big blocker that you have. And maybe that's what Spencer Shannon's role is going to be.
When you're as good as they need to be at the run game, I don't care if it's another tackle. Bring him in. Bring him in. They know that it's coming one way or the other. Bring him in. Let's go and still get it done. You don't have to surprise them. You just got to overmatch them.
It's got to work because it feels like that extra tackle shit has not worked very well for Texas when they've tried it. But maybe I'm doing selective memory there on that. I'd like to not tell the defense exactly what you're doing, but hey, it'd be nice to get to the point.
Would you rather have that defensive guy come in there as the fullback and tell them?
No, that's also telling them what you're doing. Like,
and you're not doing it very good.
Yeah,
I've already forgot about that touchdown that they did. They did have a touchdown that way.
They did. Yeah. Hey, look, if you're going to win a conference championship game by 4 touchdowns, you could bring in a big guy and throw him.
Now you're talking. If you're up by 3 and you get that fourth to go up by 4, you can bring that tackle in. That's fine. I can accept that.
It's fine with me, but yeah, I don't know. Jack Andrews.
As long as there's only 3 minutes left in the game.
3 minutes that you want it in when it's 3 minutes left in the game?
If there's 3 minutes left in the game and you're up by 3 touchdowns and you bring that dude in, that's okay. If it's the start of the third quarter and you're only up 3 TDs, no, keep him on the bench.
I can live with it if you're up by 3 TDs. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
That's fine with me. Especially if it's T Sweat, a guy who's as good as that, who meant as much to your team. You throw him a bone. Let him strike the Heisman pose in the end zone at Jerry World. All right. Let him have some fun. But yeah, I don't know. Jack Andrews, he's a receiving threat, and I think he's one and done at Texas. I really do. I think that's his plan. He's been pretty open about that being his plan because he's going into his 3rd year of college football, so he can go once this year is done. But I think he transferred to Texas for a reason. I'm sure NIL was a part of it, but I think a bigger part of it was I want to be in Steve Sarkisian's offense. I want to catch passes from Arch Manning. I want to put up great numbers and then play on Sundays in 2026.
Well, that had to be an easy talk that guy into it, and the place to do it is here.
Yeah, I think so.
All you have to do is see the numbers on what Gunnar Helm did. That gets you here.
Exactly what I was going to say, right? Like Gunnar Helm, 60 catches, 786 yards, 7 touchdowns. Gunnar Helm was a relative unknown going into last year. Like I know he was going into his senior year, so like we knew his name. We had seen him on the field, but I think he had like 14 career catches.
Yeah, I thought that guy was going to be at 30 at the most. He would be 30 catches in a season for him.
Yeah, and we were like hopeful that all right, there's not going to be a big drop off despite losing JT Sanders, and then Gunnar Helm was even better. So I'm not predicting Jack Endries to break Gunnar Helm's school records that, took a century and a half to break, but can he be close? Yeah. I think he will be. And I think he will be one of the most important parts of this Longhorn offense this year. So I'm expecting big things, even though he's new. What he's done the last 2 years at Cal with lesser talent, I think he's got a shot to be a big-time piece and one of the best tight ends in the conference this year.
Well, like I said, all I hear is positive things, and all I hear about it is that it sounds like we underestimate what this kid can do because the rest of college football thinks he's really special. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, it's more Texas insiders who, have sources within the team. They talk to the coaches. They talk to the players. I mean, he's put up pretty good numbers. He's got over 1,000 yards receiving in 2 years of college football. That's pretty solid for a tight end. But a lot of the reports that we're getting about Jack Endries, it's not like Joel Klatt raving about him. It's people who are actually in the know and seeing and talking to people who get to see him every day. So that means something to me. And hopefully those guys are right. It feels rare if everyone's saying good things about one player that he doesn't actually live up to the hype. So I'm hoping that's the case. I don't have much question with Endries. I think he's going to be really good. I do wonder, what happens if something happens to Endries? Because
who's the next guy?
Yeah, we talk about the wide receiver room outside of the top 3 having 0 combined career catches. Well, that's your tight end room after your top 1. Because not only is Gunnar Helm gone, but Juan Davis is gone. Amari Niblack is now at A&M. So, who are your other tight ends that you can rely on when you need them? That's a question that's got to be figured out.
Yeah, why would Niblack? Why did he end up going to Texas A&M? He just knew he wasn't going to be. Once they started looking for somebody else, that writing was on the wall for him.
Yeah, well, I think he didn't play a ton last year. He didn't make the impact that I think Longhorn fans hoped. And I think a big thing for Sark, I think he cares about this with his running backs too. He wants his tight ends to be able to block. Like, he's not going to put you out there if you're just a total liability as a blocker. That's why Jarrett Gibson's role diminished a ton last year. Like, he was horrible in pass pro. And that's, you had Trey Weiser and Jaden Blue as well. Those guys were obviously good, but Sark doesn't just want a guy who can only catch.
Oh, no, you can't put a guy out there that's going to get your quarterback hurt.
Yeah, so you don't need to be an elite blocking tight end, but I think you have to give something in that.
Yeah, you have to get in the way.
Yeah, you got to get in the way. And I think that's a big part of why Niblack didn't play a ton last year. And I think he would have played more if he came back this season. But now he transferred before Endries got here. So I just think he wasn't happy with his lack of PT and wanted to go somewhere where he felt like he could.
Yeah, it just seemed weird with the kid because the kid wasn't here early, how that ended up happening. Now, if you hear the rumor mill is going that they're going to get another tight end and that's going to be the tight end, then you're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Well, it's an upgrade, right? Maybe a blessing in disguise. Sure. Like if Amari Niblack decided to stay, maybe Texas doesn't go out and get Jack Endries. But I think Endries is going to have a better year in Austin than Niblack's going to have in College Station.
Sure.
I feel good about that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Spencer Shannon, redshirt sophomore. Jordan Washington, redshirt freshman. Amari Winston, freshman. Michael Terry, freshman. You have no proven commodities in that tight end room. I guess my overarching thought as we kind of wrap this up, Buck, I feel really good about the first team wide receivers and tight ends in the, pass catchers group, if you will.
Right.
I just have questions about the depth. You've got talent. Most of these guys are blue chip recruits, so they're going to be good, but they don't have experience. So will they be good if their numbers are called in 2025?
Well, the big bonus is that out of these 5-star freshman wide receivers that you get, not only can one of them be good, what if 2 of them are good? Now you're feeling, now you're like, this is how we expect a 5-star wide receiver out of high school to look. Speed, the ability to learn what the offense is all about, catch the ball on a consistent basis, and catch after the run. They don't all have to make 50-50 balls. Some of them it's just the fact that you catch it when it hits you in the hands, and then you run after you catch the ball is a big deal to them because they're going to have a pretty good quarterback to get them the ball. It's not all going to have to be bombs. It's just going to be where he throws it, you catch it, and you catch it and run with it with confidence. You'll be able to tell right away which one of those kids. And they know when they see these guys, whether it's been the spring or in fall camp when they catch it, how they run with it, what kind of athletes they are. So if you get 2 out of that, what is it, 3 guys that are coming?
4.
If you get 2, well, if you get 2 out of the 4, then you should be okay. If you get 1, but one of them has to be good. One of the 4 has to be ready to play as a freshman and look pretty good at it.
Yeah. Khalil Lockett was the highest rated recruit of the 4. I feel like Dalen McCutcheon was the lowest rated recruit, still a 4-star and like a borderline top 100 player in the entire class. He's the guy I think we heard the most about during the spring. So maybe he's the guy who has the best chance to make that early impact. But yeah, I'm with you.
And as I said, 2 of them will make you really happy. You'll really be excited about 2 of them.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see. 9 wide receivers and tight ends caught passes for Texas last year. Only 2 of them are back this year. That's DeAndre Moore and Ryan Wingo. So it will be a different look. Obviously, a different guy throwing them the football as well. But you said it, and that's a hugely important position, and they're going to have to mature very quickly for Texas to do what we want them to do.
Once again, a trust in those coaches because those guys have done it back-to-back years.
I do too.
They just have done an unbelievable job.
Sark always has great wide receiver play, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I mean, that's been a staple of his coaching career, and obviously look what he did at Alabama right before he got to Texas. It's, you don't have a Devontae Smith or a Henry Ruggs, on the field, or a Jalen Waddle in this room. I don't think you're talking about that level of wide receiver talent right now, but just feels like everywhere he's been, he's had great wide receivers. And
true, but if you get 5-star wide receivers as freshmen, you got 4 of those guys, you're on the right road. That's the right track right there because you're not looking for 2-star wide receivers. And if you get 4 or 5 stars, my goodness, you got to expect that one of those guys, as I said, 2 would be great, but one of them is going to be special. I mean, really special as a 5-star. He's just going to be young, and all he needs is a couple positive things to happen to him, and then he's off to the races. That's just like what happens to these other guys that Sark has had before. Once they get going, it's hard to stop them.
That was one of the big storylines around college football last year is like how many true freshman wide receivers were game wreckers. And, we talked about a few of them earlier. I mean, there were a bunch of freshman wide receivers who were like the best wide receivers on their teams. And like you're talking Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson, like big time programs who just had these young wide receivers just burst on the scene. Texas has 1 or 2 of those guys, like you said, then all right, we're going to be sitting pretty there.
Oh, should they have receivers? And the receivers last year, the kid from Missouri was, he didn't have, the quarterback was always hurt, but that guy was a great wide receiver, still got drafted high. Kid out of Syracuse who caught a bunch of balls. I mean, there were receivers all over the country last year catching balls like mad,
Oh, those guys weren't freshmen, but they were good. They were good.
They made a difference. And as I said, for the last 2 years, Texas has really made a difference in what they got at wide receiver. They didn't just get anybody. I mean, they got stars at wide receiver. And yes, I would expect one of these freshmen to be a star.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, we'll take your thoughts. The Dakota text line, 512-222-9328. By the way, shout out to our friends at the Circuit of the Americas.
Yes, indeed.
Get their continued support. F1, I'm starting to see billboards pop up around the city. It's right around the corner. Get your tickets at circuitoftheamericas.com. Of course, our friends at Syntex Tickets also have tickets for you there. About 3 concerts this year with Kygo, Garth Brooks, and Turnpike Troubadours back to back to back, plus the qualifying and then the F1 race itself. That is a weekend that you don't want to miss. If you've been before, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been before, you don't have to worry about Georgia being in town this weekend, or this year. You don't have to make that decision with F1 this time around. That's a road weekend for the Longhorns. So if you're going to be in town, get out to Coda for F1.
Yeah, Garth Brooks deal is going to be crazy. The 2-time country music entertainer of the year. And even as an older dude, he still entertains, man. He's still got a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen him before?
I've seen him before. Yeah, he is. That guy has a lot of energy when he's on stage. I just thought he was, George Strait is just, just the guy who can sit on a chair and just do it and talk and walk. Garth Brooks moves around. I mean, that guy moves around like he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen him lately, so I don't know if he's still got that type of energy. I know, but when he was the year that he was entertainer of the year, country music's entertainer of the year, I'm like, that guy puts on a performance now.
Good. Friends in Low Places.
Oh my goodness. Like
Crazy
me.
is the crowd going to be for that song here.
Oh my, yeah, of course it will be nuts out there.
Oh my God. You'll be able to hear that from Westlake.
Wow.
This would be awesome. So shout out Dakota. Also, need to mention this. We are proud to be partnering with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Buck, I know that's a cause that is very near and dear to your heart.
I'm a monthly donor.
Love that. We're partnering with them for their upcoming St. Jude walk on September 27th. We have our own Texas Sports Unfiltered team. If you're tuned in on YouTube or Facebook, there's a link in the video description below. You can donate there and support our team, but the money doesn't go to us. The money goes to St. Jude and the great work that they do to try to find a cure for childhood cancer and obviously help kids and families who are dealing with the effects of childhood cancer. So love our friends at St. Jude. Really excited about this partnership. Buck, I think you're going to be emceeing the walk itself on September 27th.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm proud to do that. That's a big deal, and that's an awful lot of, what the people at St. Jude's does for childhood cancer is special. That's the worst is to see a kid with cancer that's 1 year old, 2 years old, and hadn't even really got their life started, and to be burdened with cancer and the way they fight and what St. Jude's does, and they take care of them. Kids don't pay a thing to go to to go to Memphis, go to the medical center. They're incredible of how much money that they get donated to them and how they use that money in helping families. I mean, it's not just the person with cancer, it's the families. They make sure that they are comfortable when they come to see their son or their daughter. It's amazing work that they do.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's the groundbreaking research they do to try to find a cure, but also, your donation and your participation in this event helps ensure that families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, for travel, for housing, or food. That's bad enough dealing with, a child, a loved one with cancer, and, just you're focusing on trying to help them live. That's why St. Jude does such a great job and why their work is so impactful. And you can help us make a difference. So donate to our Texas Sports Unfiltered team. If you would, just donate to them, support them. Doesn't have to be to our team, but obviously we're excited to be a part of that event. I'm going to be walking. Buck's going to be emceeing. We'll have a few TSU folk out there. We'll be giving out some hats and some koozies as well. And, by the way, that is Saturday, September 27th. That is a bye week for the Texas Longhorns. And it's in the morning, so you're not going to miss any football. You go walk, make a difference, and then you go home, sit on the couch, and watch football all day long. So
there you go.
Nothing
Saturday. Better.
Nothing better. Nothing better. Shout out to our friends at St. Jude. All right, Buck. We were talking about A&M with the Amari Nyblack transfer. Did you see this? Reveille, the live mascot for Texas A&M University, she had to get her eye removed the other day.
Wow.
Dealing with some
glaucoma. Did she have doggy glaucoma?
Doggy glaucoma. Maybe she was just smoking too much weed, and that's what you say when the cop pulls you over and your eyes are glossy as shit from smoking. Oh, I have glaucoma. That's how you get out of your ticket right there. There's your tip for kids in the car line this morning. You're welcome.
I take a drop every day in my right eye for it.
For glaucoma?
Yeah.
So someone was Reveille.
Early set for that early onset of that stuff. So I got to take these drops every morning. And if I miss out on them, my eye gets a little hazy later in the day. But Reveille, they took the whole eye out, huh?
Took the whole right eye out. Yeah.
So does the dog have a patch? Does the dog have a patch like a pirate now?
I don't know. Had to get her right eye surgically removed yesterday after vets diagnosed her with glaucoma. The good news is the procedure was successful and she's back home and resting. It is Reveille 10 for those keeping track at home. And I care about dogs. I don't want to make light of this situation, but that's interesting. What happens to the students, Buck? Remember, there's that tradition at A&M. Like if Reveille walks into a classroom and barks, then the teacher is supposed to dismiss class. You heard about this?
They don't really buy that. I mean, I would have treats in my pocket to make the dog bark every time I knew that dog was coming to near my class.
I would too. I think it's just kind of random when she walks around and steps into a classroom. I don't know if that's an everyday bit, but yeah.
They walk they walk that dog around campus all the time? Like, here,
I don't know about all the time, but
does the dog show up for faculty meetings? Is that what the deal is?
With A&M, you never know, but I don't know. Like Bevo does. I guess Bevo's a little harder to schlep than a little Collier.
Get through the halls.
Yeah, it's like Bevo hasn't been in a classroom, I don't think, anytime recently. But I don't know. I don't know how often Reveille gets trotted around, but whenever she barks in the class, the teacher's supposed to dismiss class. Apparently that means like the teacher's lost the dog's interest. The dog's barking because what you're teaching sucks and you suck. So we're going home. So I wonder now with that procedure, does everyone get a day off? Does everyone get a week off? Reveille loses an eye. Don't we have to miss some class for this?
Lose an eye, yeah. That first day of class, there shouldn't be any first day of class.
If I'm an A&M student, I am emailing my teachers today. I'm like, I'm not going in honor of our mascot. Like,
oh hell, you wouldn't go for a month.
You're right. I would. And I probably wouldn't send the email to the teacher. I just wouldn't show, and they'd be like,
you just wouldn't show up for the first month of class?
Yeah, BK, we're worried. Well, our mascot had glaucoma. You think I can just go to class? I was in a tough emotional state. I was in distress.
Dog lost an eye.
Yeah, does that not mean anything to you? Do you not care about the dog? Do you not care about our live mascot here at this university that employs you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm glad the dog's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad the dog is okay.
Better maybe to be a one-eyed dog than a three-legged dog. I don't know how that works. Look out for people sneaking up from behind you there.
If you're one eye or if you're three legs?
Either.
Hell, at A&M, I guess you never know what they do to the animals there. I think Reveille's off the hook from any of that stuff. At least I hope she is, but who knows with those folk.
Oh, they don't play that game with that dog? No?
I don't think so. I hope not. It's a disturbing thought.
Everybody has one of the, everybody has one of those nights. Look out.
Yeah. God. A few national days today, by the way. Today is National Cousins Day.
Yeah, man.
You got any locks for the people? It's National Cousins Day. Shouldn't you be calling your cousin to put some money on something?
We're working on the season for the people. We don't want to get anybody too riled up in July. We still got towards the end of next month. Everything is going to work. Hey, let me just tell you, everything's going to work out for you people if you ride the buck this year. If you ride on this train, you're going to be just fine.
Talking about riding after the story we just discussed. I don't know if I like that.
You're going to be just fine on this train.
No futures bets for the people on National Cousins Day.
I was thinking about, I wanted to go out to Vegas and do some futures bets, but I just can't. I can't seem to find. What do you need to go out there? You need just a Thursday, Friday, come back on a Saturday to get your futures in, because it's not just getting my futures in, it's getting my craps rolls on. So I need what? That's maybe 48 hours is good enough.
Yeah, what do you need? You need a flight and a place to stay. Or maybe you don't need a place to stay. Maybe you just stay awake the entire time and just gamble and bet.
No, I can't do that. I need some of that fresh oxygen that they pump into those hotels.
It'll keep you awake.
Yeah. So once again, and it can't be, we don't do Motel 6s, but we don't have to do $300 a night rooms there, right? I mean, they've got places that are decent at times of the year when you go to the casinos, right?
Yeah, you can get there for a quick trip. They'll happily take your money. I like that. Some futures bets in before the year starts.
And that's a Southwest airline trip mostly?
Yeah, I mean, they've got every airline does nonstop to Vegas. That's one you don't miss if you're an airline. Everyone
really, I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about engine failure, because if I get on Delta, I still have to worry about that, unless there's an island in between here and Vegas that I can land at.
No, I don't think there is. I don't think there's a ton of water between those two. But yeah, get out to Vegas. I like that. A little TSU field trip or Bucky field trip. Go on a weekend, go on a weekday, whatever. Get your bets in. Make it happen.
My wife is continually telling me, if you really want to get those best deals, you can't go out there towards the end of the weekend when you think you need to go. You need to go out there Tuesday, Wednesday, come back Thursday, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, everything's a little cheaper, right? The minimums at the tables are generally cheaper during the week than they are on the weekend. So you get to benefit that.
Sounds like a $10 table. Sounds like a $10 table to me.
You can find some $10 tables on a Tuesday night at the El Cortez. You might have to go to Old Vegas to go downtown to find them that cheap. I don't know how many.
I don't care where I'm throwing them bones. Old Vegas, New Vegas in the corner. I'm good.
Yeah, all right. Make it happen.
But I won't get involved with a slot machine. I only have one slot machine, and that's back in Pennsylvania.
You won't touch another slot. You'll go to Vegas and we won't touch a slot, even though you like them.
I don't think I can go to Vegas and just play. I hit the tables and not mess with the slots. So I have a special place in my heart for the slot machine in PA, You
did hit the jackpot last time.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I wonder who else is messing with my, I worry that people are trying to overplay that machine. But that machine, it doesn't matter. You can overplay it all you want to. It's not gonna ring up for you. It's waiting for somebody to come back home.
Waiting for someone to caress it.
That's exactly right.
And hump it. Isn't that what you do? Don't you just go up to the side of the machine and start doing that?
Left hand on it, right hand hitting the button. Left hand, right hand, spanking the back of it. Don't take my eye off the machine. The girl comes over and says, "Hey, you want me to take the taxes out?" And I go, No. You don't worry about the taxes. Here, you take this $25 tip and leave me alone. I'll take care of the taxes.
Yeah.
I gave her 25. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's more than enough. She's just doing her job. You don't have to pay her anything.
I never thought of it that way. I just thought of it as a tip, like, when people come by. I mean, I see people, they're always get those drinks that are supposed to be for free, but some guy throws a $5 chip at the lady or a dollar chip. Nobody gets a real free drink. I've never seen anybody not give something as a tip at a casino.
You've never seen me at the casino then.
Now you're talking. Now that's what I'm saying.
Wait, how much did you win?
$2,000.
Okay, so you gave $25. That's all right. That's nice of you.
You're almost sounding like you're ready to say that's pretty cheap.
No, that's nice of you. I probably would have given like 10, 15.
Yeah, because I didn't have to give it, like you said, just give me my ticket. This is your job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like she's got to be there anyways. You're keeping her in business by winning that jackpot. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Shouldn't be thanking her. You should be saying you're welcome.
Hey, lady, make this machine do it again.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll pay you more if you do about that.
That's right. I'll give you more than 25 if you can get it to do it twice.
Good joke here from Jason. Reveille doesn't want to see the Aggie football season either. Nice.
Wow.
That's why she lost an eye. And then, everyone's making the National Cousins Day jokes. Big day in Arkansas, West Virginia, Alabama, Kentucky. Congrats to a lot of the SEC folk on National Cousins Day. Show some love to your loved one, your significant other, your cousin.
Yeah, my real cousin sent me he turned 70, so he sent me a happy 70th. What is it like to be in the 70 realm? And I said, I don't know, just got there, man. Just starting to feel it. No different than 69. It's no different far.
That's such a tired bit. It's not just when you hit a milestone birthday either. It's like whenever you have a birthday, do you feel older? Does it feel different? It's like, no, it's literally the exact same shit I felt yesterday. Now leave me alone.
I'm actually just same spot I was in last year, except for I was a year younger. Still feel about the same.
I feel worse because I have to talk to you now, please.
And you got to tell me, here, congratulations, you made it to 70. All right, congratulate me when I make it to 90. Leave me alone at 70.
Congrats is okay, but do you feel different? How does
I don't feel any different. I truly, I don't feel any different. I mean, like I said, I'm getting on my doctor's appointment. I went yesterday, and I get to see the urologist on Friday. The welcome back,
Oh, he sings that song?
Yeah. I'm not excited about that because, as I said, the first time we met, it was nothing. But everyone since then, it's been, hey, before you leave, what I have to do. I'm like, well, let's make it so you don't have to do it.
He gets the running start, right? Is that the urologist that does that?
Yeah, good guy. Very.
You know him pretty well, inside and out, huh?
Talked to my old guy yesterday, and he's just telling me. I said, Doc, isn't there a different way to do that now? He goes, no, it's still the old-fashioned way is the best method of finding out about, your prostate and things like that. They said, yeah, there's stuff that you're getting blood. He said, but it's not. It's almost like the shitting in the box and bringing it instead of going and getting fully tested. He said, you want the best you can get, and right now that's the feeling for it is the best way, I guess, that they do it. So I don't know. I'm going to try to talk them out of it. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. It's like you don't go into the doctor's office trying to talk your doctor out of sticking his finger in your ass. That's not the way it starts. But towards the end, when it's about to start to happen. I don't know how to strike that conversation.
I've never had to do it, so no, I don't. I went and got a physical a couple of days ago, actually, and she's like, "You know what? You're good. You don't have to get the proctology exam today."
Yeah, I mean, I remember like being in high school and you had to have the nut checked by the doctor before you could play football. That was
I didn't get my nut. I was disappointed. I didn't get my nuts checked. It was it's a young girl who was there. She's probably like younger than me, who was the PA there.
Well, what did she do? Just take your temperature and tell you you're okay?
She asked me to lay down and lift my shirt, and I'm like, here we go. Trying to keep the blood out of there. And then she just felt the stomach and the lower stomach, and I'm like, that's it? That's all I get?
She just kind of pressed down on your abdomen and said everything's good?
Yeah, she did, the heart check and the ear check and the nose check and all the checks, but she didn't make me call for her.
High school football's early 70s, late 60s. It was always that guy sitting on a stool and you're in a line with your shorts on and one guy would walk up, you drop your shorts, he'd feel underneath your balls and say, you're okay, next, let's move right along. That was the absolute worst.
How much would they have to pay you for that job, dude?
Oh, dude. I mean, listen, an old guy with glasses sitting on a wooden stool, BK, and you'd be lined up as a 9th grader, standing there with gray shorts on, and you'd have to go to him, and then you'd drop your shorts, and your wang would be sitting like eye level to him, just sitting there in his face. But he'd reach under there, and he'd just kind of feel around and say, okay, next. And I'd be like, oh, man, this is awful. This is just this. I mean, I had to do that for like 3 years. The high school one was the worst.
That's bad for you, but worse for him.
Oh, no. And then and plus the thing about it was you couldn't get, where I live, it wasn't like go to your own doctor because that was going to cost your mom. If you're going to your own doctor to get checked for playing high school football, no. They had a team. They had the team old man that was cupping nuts for the last 20 years,
Just doing that for fun. He wasn't even a doctor. He just
he didn't even know what he was checking. It was just like, damn, is that guy still here?
He just shows Bucky, up on this day every year.
Hey, Bucky, what year are you in? I remember you when you were in 4th grade, don't I? I mean, I'm Doc. What are you still doing this for? Do you know what you're doing?
Is that not enough of a feel? Why aren't you asking me to cough? Why are you just why are you doing that motion now, Doc?
Yeah, that's not what you did last year. Why have you changed these hand signals here, Doc? But no, that was bad. Because seriously, you stood in a line. Then there was always that one goofy freshman that didn't have his gray shorts on. He stood there naked, because he like, oh, I didn't get any grays. What am I going to do? We'd always tell him, well, you can't stand there in your underwear. So there'd always be one of those 9th graders standing in the line with no bottoms on, and he would look like an idiot. He would look like an idiot, and the whole line was just cracking up. And he's going the next, and he walked right in front of the doc, and the doc would look up at him like, why are you standing in front of me with no clothes on?
Oh, my God.
You never got checked? You never got a nut check?
Oh, I did. I just didn't this week when I went. I've had that before, but for some reason, I didn't get that. I was disappointed, too, because, again,
it always seemed to be like 3 days before the first practice that the coach would say, hey, old Doc Martin's coming tomorrow.
We didn't have that. We had I didn't play football in high school, but in high school, we had to get our own physicals on our own and just have a report that we got a physical. So everyone, I think, went to their own doctors and got the test done, and then had some form that they would bring to the school that said, we got our nuts checked by an old man.
Yeah, no, it was easier for old Doc Martin to show up. We didn't have to pay, the high school would pay for old Doc Martin. You didn't have to get your physicians that your mom had to foot the bill, your mom and dad. So we stood in a line, and there he was. Old Doc Martin's back with his glasses hanging down,
I don't know how
checking
we
my
got
nuts.
That's classic. I'm telling you, he wasn't a doctor, dude. He was just a
Well, he
guy
did people. He did people and animals. He was part veterinarian too. So,
oh my God, yeah, he would go around to all the schools in the district, just feeling up nuts for young
oh no, I
boys.
guarantee you that my Catholic school wasn't the only one. I'm pretty sure he went to the other public schools in the city too.
Dude, that's disgusting. That guy should be in
What?
jail. I don't care
By
if
the
that's
way,
his.
hey,
Should be,
by the
he should
way,
be.
in the late 60s, early 70s, there wasn't gloves. That's like dentists. There was, nobody had gloves on. They would just wash their hands. Next, please.
Gross. All right. It's also National Drive-Through Day today.
So I can get a Hat Creek burger today?
Yeah, get you a Hat Creek burger today. They've got a great drive-through. They'll get you in and out of there very quickly. That's one of our favorite drive-throughs.
Great Hat Creek burger with some fries and a shake today, and you can too at your local Hat Creek Burger Company store. That's a good idea. There's my drive-through. Myself a Hat Creek burger today.
Yeah, what's your favorite drive-throughs? Obviously, we're partial to our friends at Hat Creek, but go celebrate the fast food game today. Also, National Tequila Day. Not one for you, Buck, but potentially one for me. National Intern Day and National Amelia Earhart Day today. You celebrate that one?
Well, I'm not going to fly today, so yeah, I'm celebrating by not being in a plane.
Was that her bit? She didn't invent the plane, right? That was Orville and Redenbacher. She just
I think she flew across the ocean or something like that, or got lost, or landed on a golf course. They were talking about it last week in Ireland that they had a hole named after her because that's where she made a landing. Maybe that's where she made her last pit stop.
Interesting. She just flew around and stuff. She was like Delta pilot or something.
Yeah, she's like a Delta. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. So we blame her for all the problems then, huh?
Yes. She started the one in Delta.
And a few birthdays today before we dive back into the sports. The 56th birthday of Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo, 56. Still has her fastball and her changeup and her curveball and everything.
Yes, she does.
She hadn't lost a step at all. Also, speaking of good guys, the 62nd birthday of Karl Malone.
There you go, the mailman.
The mailman. He's felt some young kids before. And the 61st birthday of Barry Bonds. I don't know if he has nuts anymore.
He lost those a while back.
So there's your National Day calendar and your birthday calendar on July 24th.
Very nice.
There you go. All right. Few sponsor shout outs here. We've got some Cowboys and Texans training camp news to get into. Apparently there was a fight in Oxnard yesterday for the Cowboys. So we'll dive into that. And then we've got a pretty ridiculous video to show the people before we wrap things up. But before any of that, how about another round of sponsor shout outs?
Say hello to our friends over at 34 Wine and Spirits, 4601 Southwest Parkway for all your alcohol needs. Whether it's a big party, small party, they are wholesale distributors that can get the alcohol to you. But if not, head by the store and pick up some of that fine wine at 34 Wine and Spirits, 4601 Southwest Parkway, where you can find Altstadt Beer, BK. You want the best beer in the world? You can find it at 34 Wine and Spirits.
Yes, indeed. That's where you should go to get your Altstadt beer. And, you should be drinking Altstadt beer this summer and, of course, into football season as well. Altstadt is my choice. It should be yours as well. Brewed locally in Fredericksburg. Easy to find. And like the Buck said, they've got a bunch of different brews, something for every beer drinker out there. I've been talking about Altstadt for years. I mean, since the brewery opened, I've been talking about them because I'm a huge believer in Altstadt. And I'm telling you, that is the only beer that I ask for when I'm at the store, when I'm at the bar, when I'm at the restaurant. That's the only beer that I want to drink. One sip and you won't go back to the other beers that you have been drinking in the past. This is award-winning stuff. It's not just some guy on the radio telling you about Altstadt. Folks who get paid to drink beer for a living are heaping the praises on Altstadt Beer. It's won a bunch of gold and silver medals at the U.S. Open Beer Festival, the Great American Beer Festival, the World Beer Cup. Apparently those are all real things. I'd love to go to one of those one day. But the experts tell you Altstadt is great. I'm telling you Altstadt is great. And when you try it, your taste buds will be telling you that Altstadt is great. Get you some. Altstadt Beer, no impurities, no regrets. And a shout out to the Hecht Law Firm as well.
You got like
Ryan.
Hecht Law Firm. Yes, indeed.
Ryan Hurricane Hecht. If a dog bites your nuts or if some old man injures you while you're getting your nuts checked, if you're dealing with a real personal injury, a car accident, a workplace accident, hey, maybe a dog did bite you, whatever, and you need help, call on our buddy Ryan Hurricane Hecht, your go-to personal injury attorney right here in Central Texas. He's been a friend of mine for more than a decade, and he's been fighting for justice and big results in Central Texas for a decade. He will take care of you. And the best part, no fees unless you win. That's right. You don't pay unless Hurricane Hecht gets money in your pocket. He is that confident that he is going to win your case. Don't let the insurance companies push you around. You're already dealing with enough trying to get your life back on track after a serious wreck or injury. Let Hurricane Hecht deal with the insurance companies and get you the money that you deserve. He's a friend of the show, but a fighter for the people, compassionate with clients, but aggressive in the courtroom. He has your back. Just give him a call, 512-938-8929. Maybe a good idea to put that number in your phone so you have it whenever you need it, or find him online at hechtlawfirm.com. That's HECHT lawfirm.com.
And of course, our friends at Woods Comfort Systems, you want to make sure your air conditioning is working properly, because it's going to get a little bit warmer. I don't know if it's going to get to be 100. Hey, but it's going to feel like 105. So if it does feel like 105, it probably is 105, but your air conditioning system needs to be working properly. And at Woods Comfort Systems, their technicians will make sure that everything is working A-OK for you. And when it comes time for winter to roll around, they're going to make sure that your heating service is working properly also. They do heating, plumbing, and air conditioning, and they've been doing it for close to 70 years here in Central Texas, and nobody does it better than Woods Comfort Systems.
WoodsComfortSystems.com, 512-842-5066 is how to find them. Quick breaking news out of the NFL. This is not good. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields was carted to the locker room after suffering an apparent lower leg injury in practice. Not ideal. Justin Fields is a protected starter for the Jets this season. That's all we have. I mean, this stuff has come out within the last 10 to 15 minutes, so no details on what exactly happened and what it was, but prayers for Justin Fields. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, and man, the Jets can't catch a break when it comes to the quarterback position.
And of course, we know that he's got a jersey on. That's probably non-contact injury.
Yeah. Oh, this early in camp? Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
That sucks. So I'm sure we'll have something as the day progresses and maybe talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Cowboys training camp, Buck. They had to delay Cowboys practice yesterday in Oxnard because there was a scuffle that broke out between safety Marquise Bell and tight end Tyler Neville. Schottenheimer had to call everybody together and say he was going to kick the next player out who got into a fight on the practice field. There you go, Shotty, laying down the law a little bit, huh?
I can't afford to have that happen in a game.
You don't want to fight your own guys, right? You want to fight the other guys, though, and it better in a game.
You don't want it in a game because it'll cost you a bunch of yardage in that. You just get heat. It's hot. You're getting the tight quarters. You're trying to make a team. Everybody's trying to make the team, but you can't afford to fight a guy and get yourself hurt or your teammate hurt. You're right. In the summertime, this isn't the time for all that crap. Coaches let things get a little heated. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on, but they don't want throwdowns. Nobody wants a throwdown between guys, big, 300-pound guys taking a swing, and those idiots will swing with their helmets in their hand, and some guys will take their helmets off like they want to be tough, and the other guy will take a helmet and smash him in the head with it. So you just tempers flare. It's a tough sport. Everybody doesn't play fair by the rules. Somebody's going to take a cheap shot. Somebody's going to jump on the back of your leg. You just have to kind of roll with the punches. You never want to get in a fight where somebody really can get hurt.
You involved in any of those when you were coaching?
Dude, I was a wide receiver. I got involved in that shit on every play with secondary guys. But they're all my size. I never got involved with a linebacker that was ready to take me out coming across the middle. I never jumped up and then jumped in their face. I'm like, hey, yeah, nice hit, dude. I still caught it. You hit me, but I'm on your team.
Pushing that guy.
Yeah, you're not pushing that guy. Secondary guys, you push them. They're your size. You can afford to fight and grapple with them. but you didn't do that to, some defensive end that dropped back in coverage and smacked you in the mouth. What were you going to do? You weren't jumping up in his face and say, let's go.
Yeah.
Linebackers never had any problems with coaches, because coaches they didn't, in college, they don't kick you out of the game. They may kick you out of practice, but you're good. Your ass is playing in the game on Saturday. Now, that may be a way for you to get out of practice late in the practice by knocking some wide receiver on his face and then punching him in the head. And the coaches say, get off the field. You knew you were still playing on Saturday.
It's not a bad idea right there. It's a good advice for the star player.
Come on, kids. That's not for kids. That's not for high school football players in the car line. No.
If you're the best player on the team, you're going to get that preferential treatment. So you can get away with a few more things than everybody else.
Plus, I wasn't kicking anybody's ass at 165 pounds. I wouldn't jump up and I couldn't even jump up and get into the faces of my other wide receivers. They're all bigger than me anyway.
They're just doing like the classic, they're stiff arming you away as you're like flailing at them, trying to hit them. That would have been you, the old cartoon bit right there.
No doubt.
Man. A couple other Cowboys nuggets. CeeDee Lamb had some strong quotes yesterday. He said, quote, I feel like the league knows what happens when I'm healthy and I have Dak for a whole season. But if you don't, I will happily show you what it's going to be like this year. I'm a dominant receiver. I don't like to speak highly of myself, but I can't wait to show you guys, end quote. So CeeDee Lamb, incredibly confident that he's going to put up some big numbers this year. And now George Pickens has made an early impact at Cowboys camp. He actually had some cramps yesterday. He caught a ball, and then after he got knocked down, he laid on the ground for a few seconds, and everyone's like, oh my God, really? Like the Cowboys finally make a big move in an offseason, and the guy's hurt before we even get to the preseason. Are we serious? Apparently just dealing with some cramps in his left calf, so should be okay there. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, it's not the best wide receiving duo in football, but the Cowboys are obviously hoping that it's close.
CeeDee Lamb's in the top 2 or 3 in the game.
Yeah, he is. And 2 years ago, when Dak was fully healthy, obviously in the playoffs, things fell apart. You had those guys not on the same page on the sideline, which was just a disaster. But they put up some ridiculous numbers together in 2023.
Yeah, well, they can do all they want in the numbers games, but if they can't run in a lick, they're not going anywhere. They got to be able to run the ball somehow, some way.
Yeah, that's a big question. The Cowboys were the worst rushing team in football last year, and they didn't really do anything to fix that. Obviously, they drafted Jaden Blue, 5th-round pick we're talking about, and they brought in new guys. They brought in Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, and they got the Jaden Blue draft pick. They drafted Phil Maffa out of Clemson in the 7th round as well, but I don't none of those guys.
I've never been a Miles Sanders fan. Even when he was with the Eagles, I just never thought of him, coming out of Penn State as being a special back coming into the league. Good back, solid back, yeah, but nothing special. He had that one special year with the Eagles, which has now got him a bunch of money, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Miles Sanders has ever been one of the best running backs in football.
But he had his year. He had his year where he was pretty good.
Yeah, 2022 had 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, was a Pro Bowler for Philly.
Yeah.
They churn out good running backs. It feels like they've got an elite offensive line every year, and that helps. The last 2 years in Carolina, he didn't do much at all. So he got paid off that great year, left in free agency, and then did nothing in Carolina. And now he's 28, coming off of injury, and the Cowboys are hoping he is really good. That's their plan. It's Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. They're in their 20s. Hell, Williams is 25, but those guys have tread on their tires. They're coming off of injuries, and the Cowboys are acting like, no, they're perfectly fine. They're not damaged goods.
One of these days, they're going to have to get back to a second round pick that's 21 or 20. That's really good, and he's going to be with them for a long time. That's
right. It's like they got so scarred by Zeke Elliott in the contract that they gave him that now it's like they've gone from one extreme, taking a running back in the top 5 and paying him too much money, to we just don't care about the position at all, and we'll piecemeal.
Tell them to get over it. We pay anybody too much money. They're going to pay because they're stupid anyway.
Right. Yeah, they'd have money to sign a really good running back and everybody else if they just paid their best players when they're supposed to. Right. That's all it takes. Pay your guys early, then you'll have money where you don't have to act like Javonte Williams is a star running back in 2025. Please.
I'm going to go back and ask you, you know better than anyone. Was that whole Zeke deal? Could they have paid him earlier and got that over with too? Was that just the start of the madness, or they just overpaid him, period?
No, they paid Zeke early. They gave him a lot of money and it didn't work out.
Okay.
Some running backs can last well into their, late 20s and 30s. I mean, Zeke just turned 30. Like 2 days ago, he turned 30. So he's like, Derrick Henry's older than him. He's still getting it done. Like Adrian Peterson obviously got it done for a long time. Frank Gore obviously got it done for a long time.
Yeah.
Like those guys are like deep into the 30s. Zeke started losing it at 27, basically.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
The Cowboys paid Zeke in hopes that he wouldn't. And I don't think Zeke did the best job taking care of his body. Some of it's on him, but obviously it falls on the Cowboys. They gave him a bunch of guaranteed money and it didn't work. So they got scarred from it. And
so
again,
that wasn't one of those deals that lasted forever. That guy, because he went off to Cabo and all that. That got done early.
Yeah, it was almost like with your running back, you wait as long as you can to pay him. And then maybe you pay them if they prove that they can last throughout their entire rookie contract. But some guys can't even do that. So yeah, Zeke didn't work for Dallas. And again, now they've gone to the complete opposite end where they just ignore the position altogether.
Yes.
So it's like,
they pay the quarterback all that money, but they don't give any help to the guy that he turns around and hands the ball off to.
You don't have to go get Saquon. You don't have to go get Derrick Henry, but you can get somebody. You can bring somebody in that's better than what you have.
Especially if you're filling up your team with offensive linemen that you keep taking in the first round. That line's going to be good eventually. So you better find a runner that can run with that line. And like you said, you don't have to be great.
They need some of their previous first round picks to be good. That's something that Jerry talked about on Monday is they need more out of Mazi Smith, who's a defensive lineman out of Michigan.
Yes.
And Tyler Guyton, who was their first-round pick last year out of Oklahoma, who was not good at all as a rookie. So you can't be missing on first-round picks. The Cowboys have generally drafted pretty well, and the last couple of years has not looked very good. So they need those guys.
And it doesn't matter what position it is if you're number one.
Right. Yeah, those guys have to be good for you. And they haven't been so far. So we'll see what Tyler Booker does, the first-round pick this year, the guard out of Alabama. But the Cowboys would like to get something. I've given up on Mazi Smith. I think he's a bum. And Tyler Guyton, I'm holding out hope for because he didn't have a ton of reps in college, so you kind of knew he'd be a little bit of a project. So I'll give him a chance to figure it out. But again, last year didn't give you a lot of reason to believe that he's like the next great first-round offensive lineman that the Cowboys got. Real quick nugget on the Texans. They started training camp yesterday. Joe Mixon started camp on the NFI list. That's the non-football injury list. Sustained an ankle injury when he was working out on his own during the offseason. Was recently seen in a boot. Doesn't sound like it's too serious. Should be okay, but not ideal for the Texans' number one running back. But don't forget, they signed Nick Chubb this offseason. So I don't know what he's got. Speaking of old running backs who have
if they could have those guys both pretty healthy, that's awesome right there.
If it was 2019, that'd be the best 1-2 punch in the league. But
yeah, and I trust that Joe Mixon will be. I trust Joe Mixon that if it's not that same ankle that he screwed up, at the end of the season, but that's how they tackle him. He's the guy that they jump on the back of that ankle, to get him down. He won't go down on first contact. And when he's spinning, they're jumping on that ankle, that lower leg, to get him to the ground because nobody wants to take him, straight up because he runs a bunch of guys over. But at the end of tackles, if you have to jump on the back of that dude's legs, that's what they do. They horse collar the shit out of him a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't like it too. He's openly complained about that.
He hates it when you grab his jersey, period, to throw him down.
Yeah, he does. I don't blame him. I'm sure that sucks.
You know what? Tell him to quit fighting and fall down then. Give me a flag. When I pull your flag out, you go down.
I like that. That works. I'm sure. Flag football. You're trying to a lot of people would argue that the NFL is already becoming flag football with some of the rule changes. Now you're trying to actually make it flag football. Oh man. Dude, one more NFL.
Football is tough. I don't care how they played it in the past. I've watched it. I've been around it. My back hurts because of it. My knee, my shoulder. But if you don't think it's tough now, you are out of your mind because it was never that fast before. Not like now.
The people who complain about football being soft are people who've never played a down of football in their life.
God.
Or
Awful.
and people who would want no part of actually being put on a football field. So
they're generally soccer people.
Is it the same? No, it's not the same. I'm not denying that. But is it soft or weak or easy? Nah, I don't think it's any of those things either. We've got a video to show the people because the Browns are just doo-dooing all over themselves again. They had a helmet reveal, an alternate helmet reveal yesterday. So, one of the weirdest things in sports is a team called the Cleveland Browns wears an orange helmet. I don't understand anything about that franchise or anything that they do. But yesterday, they unveiled an alternate helmet that they're going to be wearing this year and presumably moving forward. And they did it on Lake Erie. Cleveland, the mistake by the lake.
Yeah, have a drink from there.
Here's the footage. Look at the right side of your screen. You see what happened?
Did somebody fall in?
One fell into the lake. So they're unveiling the cover over the helmet. It's a giant inflatable brown helmet. Hey, a brown helmet for the Browns. And then, maybe someone's so surprised. Whoever was recording was so shocked that we actually have a brown helmet now. They literally lost their
camera
balance.
guy fell in. That was the camera guy.
Camera guy fell into the lake.
From the Guardian.
Guardian of the Galaxy?
Was that the Guardian? The guy from the newspaper fell in?
Oh, yeah. I don't know who the camera guy was, if it was a Brown social media person or like a local TV or
Did you see the mascot? Did you see the mascot throw something like a life preserver at him?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he threw.
Watch this little thing to the side, Chuck. Watch. Here. Check this out.
Here's the helmet. Here's the back angle. The guy falling in.
They threw something. Oh my God.
Why that's quick. The quickest video of all time. I thought it was longer than that. There's also a Dude Wipes mascot there, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Flushable wipe mascot was there in attendance. But of course, Buck,
your life alert on your wrist is not going to help you when you hit that water.
There are some folks saying this is staged. Browns looking for more attention because no one talks or cares about the Browns. They're thinking this guy did this on purpose. What say you?
Hell wants to fall in Lake Erie on purpose. Don't get that stuff in your ear.
You pay me enough, I'll do it. Again, I've said I will. We'll get Al Qaeda as a sponsor for TSU if the money's right. All right.
The live golfers are complaining. Hey, the live golfers don't like the rankings, BK, right now. So
no, they don't. We'll bring on the boys from Chaos.
I'll actually walk away with Al Qaeda as a part of this.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. What about ISIS?
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna butt heads that much or not. We probably will. We'll probably decapitate heads. Honestly,
BK's only looking for cash.
It's a joke, guys. Thursday.
He's looking for cash. He's looking for cash straight up.
Hey, we'll see what the money is. Wags, if I'm telling you you're getting 10 times your pay with TSU, do you reconsider?
No.
There you go, Wags.
Some things I can't let go.
100 times?
No.
Nice. There you go, Wags. That's right.
Damn. Let's go.
Sometimes money just can't buy everything.
The hate runs deep here.
Yes, that's awesome. I love hearing that from our military.
There you go.
There's things that I'm not done with.
Yeah.
There are certain things in life that money will never be able to buy. In their Wags, no matter what they try. There's certain things you have in your soul that you wouldn't do for money.
There's certain things that money just can't turn me from, and that's loyalty to America. So
yeah. I mean, I have that loyalty to people like that too. There's somebody would say, "Hey, listen, I'll give you $10 million if you would just rat on this person right here on something." I would say, "You keep your $10 million. I'll go."
Look at you guys with your values.
I'm just telling you, there's certain things I just wouldn't do. I would just say no. I'm fine. I'm fine without it.
Would you go to a Browns?
I will promote anything. You're
a slut. Would you go to a Browns unveiling of a helmet though?
Yeah, if the money's right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I would go do
values and morals and look at me
going to the shit Erie.
I'll be inviting y'all to my yacht.
I went to Lake Austin. I jumped in there out of a boat and got an ear infection. So yes,
yeah,
I
man.
would do that. I jumped in the river walk. Are you kidding me?
Call the yacht Lady Values.
Ooh.
Call the
Uh-huh.
yacht that you get, BK, Lady Values.
I'm gonna call my yacht my bitch. Let's go on my bitch and go floating.
Good. Hey, I don't think that thing was staged. Though. That guy looked like he had like a natural step in. Yeah, that looks natural. I don't know if he's trying to jump in there.
He just looked like me in the yard. Oops.
There's a long leg flail there as he's walking in. That
Yeah, I don't know. It almost looks just as natural as Brenda stepping on the dog. It does.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about her. Forgot about her.
Hang on.
How did you forget about Brenda, Ruth Ann,
Grandma.
and Peggy?
These-
There they
Oh,
are.
no,
right
oh,
there.
no, oh, no, that's
Brenda!
not natural.
Brenda, no, Brenda. Ruth
Oh, let me-
Ann,
oh, honey.
no.
Bam.
That's Ruth Ann.
Oh.
Of course, she's got two names, and then there's Peggy.
Oh,
That's-
man.
That's a TSU party right there. That
hurts right there.
that's
Who
me
stuck the
going to help
stupid
Wag.
dog? Who put the stupid dog there?
Peggy
dog's
did
statue,
because Brenda.
touching the dog.
Peggy
And look
put
at
the
the
dog
mom,
there
and the
because
mom is still
Brenda
there going, "You
cheated
two-"
playing cards the other night, playing bridge. So Peggy put the dog
And
there.
Bunko.
Brenda tripped on it, and Ruth Ann, she
Bunko.
loves Peggy.
And I love
playing
the
that.
mom. The
Bunko.
mom's like, "You two dumbasses, what are you doing? You're going to wreck my house."
yeah, nothing staged about this. This is
No.
all natural right here.
Look at
Bang.
mom.
That-
She's
yeah,
like,
that's-
"Oh,
you-
boy."
Look,
Now I gotta get
I
up.
don't know if you guys actually paid attention to this. Look at Brenda at the end of the video. Look at Brenda's legs all the way down at the stairs. And so
Okay.
it's going to be
Is
right
Brenda the
around where the
first
last
one?
plant is.
Yeah, is that Brenda there?
Hold on. She's
Yeah.
not done yet. The
Ooh.
leg comes back up. The leg comes back.
Is that Brenda that falls over
That
the
is
dog?
Brenda.
Okay.
That is Brenda's with a broken hip. Probably got some bad neck shit going on too, man. And then
Yeah,
the
that
leg
second
gets
one's got
one
that-
leg's
that-
underneath and the other leg flails back up.
All
Hey,
she was going to
it's-
have is that other woman, her sister, fall on top of her.
That
Ruth
third one?
Ann?
Yeah.
Ruth Ann's coming.
let me tell
Okay,
you,
she- yeah.
instead of this bullshit, just show that, and you'll inspire people to get Jardiance or Ozempic. Just show them that video
Oh
instead of
my
all
God.
this going on. We don't need all these dumb songs and dances
There
here,
it is.
you know.
The Savannah Bananas.
You're
right,
right,
there.
BK. All you had to do is show that video. They don't need all this. They don't need a presentation. They've got one self-made. Just ask them how much they want for this video.
Brenda.
Guardians, and then they have
Is
that
that, a
music
shoe,
playing.
is that a shoe that flies over the railing?
We are
right there?
not
What?
sadists. We do not get off on people getting hurt, but that is a funny video. That's just a
Man.
funny video.
I got to
Don't
believe
talk-
Jay has gone to work now. He must be looking. He hadn't seen that yet. We need to play that so Jay sees that over at Sue
That is
Patrick.
some-
He will not be appreciative of that move.
That's round-shouldered people right there.
Yeah, there goes the flip flop
Yeah, it
flying
is
away.
a flip-flop, right? I hadn't noticed that part. I hadn't noticed
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
notice that until just now. Good job there, Rodney, noticing
It's
that.
like the Big Lebowski, man. It just gets better.
What does Coach Mulkey think? Oh, she's not thrilled.
She's not happy with those two ladies falling down her steps coming to the house recruiting.
Hey, you know what? And I bet that Brenda and whoever them people, they had to call Hurricane Hecht after that.
Oh,
Because
for
it's like-
sure. I'm going to sue the mom for sure. Somebody's getting
That's
sued
right.
over that. You can't
Yeah.
have that metal dog. You know, it's like this piggy bank, just a little taller. You can't stick that out in the middle of the walkway. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Or
No, that is-
Jeter. You
But
can't
but
put
hold on,
Jeter out
that
there.
is a legitimate question. What the hell is the dog doing there? It's
Yeah,
it's right in the middle of the walkway.
It's resting.
It's right.
It's resting. I mean, the dog just kind of parks itself.
Needed
I
some
mean,
water. Needed to get in the shade, Rodney.
Yeah, just take. I mean, the dog.
Rodney, like me, it's old people needing to have decorations near their yard. You know, I have two angels. I've got like a 4-foot angel that I had sent to me from Pennsylvania. I mean, it's 4 feet high, and it's sitting on the hill over there guarding. What is it guarding? My wife's like, these angels
it's
aren't
guarding
protecting
you.
your
It's
property.
overlooking. It's
Well, you know-
overlooking your house.
I've
I,
got the.
I've had them with me at every house I've gone to, but I ordered one from Pennsylvania. I was in Pennsylvania. Now I've got a little short one that, you know, you go to like Michael's and you paint. I've had that over the last 15 years at my house. My wife says, do you seriously think that those things are protecting your property? I said, well, no one's jacked with my property since I've had them there. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
so-
that.
That stuff always used to creep me out. My grandmom had that stuff too. She had like an actual portrait, like a hand-drawn portrait of Jesus Christ, or what we thought Jesus Christ would look like.
Yeah.
And it was honestly, it was terrifying looking to stare at that. It would sit right underneath the guest room mantle when you would go stay at my grandmom's house. And then also, I made one remark that, hey, that's kind of creepy looking. I don't want to. She said, oh, you share the Lord. The Lord's always looking over you. You're fine. She moved it up into my room when I stayed there. When I went to go stay there, she thought I needed more Jesus.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've got that clown. Yeah. I got a clown in my shed. I got that clown with the long hair that looks like Chucky, and my wife has been threatening, hey, let's get rid of that. That thing is evil. I'm like, what do you mean it's evil? It hadn't done a thing to anybody. It's just standing there. Why would you want to get rid of it? It doesn't do anything to anybody. It's just there. I said, I'm not going to move it. If you want to move it, that's going to be on you, and that thing is on your nightstand at night, but I'm not moving it. She goes, you believe that something would happen to you? I'm like, I believe that nothing's happening to me right now, that it's sitting in the shed. Why would I mess with it?
Oh, have you enjoyed seeing this movie called Meg 2.0?
No, I don't watch scary movies.
Yeah, me too. I have not.
About a doll.
No, don't mess with. Don't.
It was like, what?
Remember when do you guys take that bank? But when do you guys take that bank? If my wife is serious about getting rid of it, as a matter of fact, I didn't even look. I was out there working out yesterday. She may have already got rid of it. But if you like that bank, I'll leave the coins in there.
How much is in there? It depends on how much is in there.
It's not a lot. Just it's about this high, but it's got this straggly hair. It looks like your kicker, BK.
No, I don't want any Bert Auburn memories, please. No, thank you.
No memorabilia.
Take that to Vegas. Take that on your trip to Vegas, Buck, and just cash it in. Just cash it in
and leave it in the hotel room. That's the one I should have left at the Motel 6. Next time I take a trip and I'm going to be going to one of those places, I should just leave that in the room.
Your tip.
Are you all going to Vegas?
Help.
I want to go, but I don't think you're going to be able to make
Rodney
that.
Said that you guys were going to Vegas. I was like, did we get something set up? Are we going out there?
We need to get some. We need to get some futures. We need to have a day trip. We need to get one. What is it? The red eye?
What?
We need to get a red eye where we go and come right back.
We're going to the circus.
I like that.
Circus Olay.
Yeah, I got to see that. I don't care where it is.
Out there, place some bets. Come on back.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You need a place to stay.
I got to go get.
What are you going to go into a curmudgeon hotel for? You don't need to do that. You don't need a room, right? You just go find a public place to poop. You're good.
But you don't shit in public. You don't shit in public. I do. Anywhere. I don't care where. Your yard, my yard, BK's yard, Bucky's yard. I don't care.
Hey, I'm finding Marshall's got a pretty good bathroom. That would be one of my top. It would make my top 15, BK.
Yeah, but you don't go in the bathroom to shit. You find somebody in line and.
No. I went in there. I had to go to the bathroom in Marshall's. It's okay. It's kind of private. It's very nice in the back.
They have music in there. I like the ones
where there's no music. No, this isn't PF Chang's.
What?
PF Chang's has got to go in. They got individual booths too at PF Chang's.
No disrespect.
All right,
but nothing like the. What is it? The Sam Houston I go to. Nothing's better than that. That's number one.
Bucky, let's just go to Louisiana, and if we have to piss, we'll just piss on the floor.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. We can just go right into the restaurant, right at the cashier's thing, and just start peeing.
How did BK and I become the people with the most sense and most manners? I don't know how this happened.
Hey, things like this happen to you once you hit 70. Things like this start to happen. All right, boys, guys. Have a good Wednesday.
Later, boys. Be good, amigo, partner in crime. How are we? Good.
Best 15 minutes on radio.
You're biased. I'm kind of with you too. I think it is some of the most entertaining stuff. It is one hell of a 4-pack for sure. We form up better than Voltron, if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Welcome to another edition of Texas Sports Unfiltered, or Chaos Theory on Texas Sports Unfiltered. I'm Wags. That's double R. You can find me on Twitter at @NotTheFakeWags, and then the Wagner Wire at InstaFace. My partner in crime, double R. He is at the Rodney R on brand X/Twitter, and then the _ Rodney R at Instagram, InstaFace. Hey, guess what? Speaking of social media platforms, I am detached. One portion of social media, I am detached.
You quit?
I am no longer on Facebook.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey. I'm gone. I am done.
You tired? You're tired of reading about politics on there?
No, honestly. So what spurned this was I got another friend request from a close family member of mine, and I said, "Dude, is this you? And are you making like multiple accounts?" He's like, "No, man, that's somebody got into my account again." And I'm just like, "Dude, it's only happening on Facebook. People are only getting InstaFace too, right? So that tells me there might be a problem with Meta, and they're like a breach of security with Meta. So I got rid of Facebook. All in all, I'm trying to talk my wife into getting rid of it. The only thing that I was reluctant with a little bit was my pictures. Like all the pictures that I put out there, I would have needed to save and recapture and put down in storage somewhere else. But then my wife made a good point. She goes, "Well, I have most of the pictures anyways. If we miss a few, we miss a few."
Yeah.
But yeah, most of like Olive Reed's graduation was shared, on my wife's account and my account too. So yeah, cold turkey, gone, done. I absolutely feel great. I never really got on Facebook anyways, except for checking stuff for my family and Marines too, right? Like keeping in touch with Marines. But
yeah, it seems like on that one, that's where people get hacked a whole bunch.
It does. Jay, well, you know what, Jay? We're getting to know each other better in person, and that's that's the best part about friendships, and not just Facebook stuff. But yeah, man, I don't want my information out there anymore. I don't want people to hack myself or hack me or hack anyone in my family. And it's time. I'm 45 years old or 44.
And I've been hacked a couple of times on there, and I'm like, look, if you want to be me, have at it. It ain't all that great.
It's really not. It's not all. It's not all it's cut out to be, guys. Now, if you're just trying to steal my information and get my benefits, then
it's like
I take issue with that.
I may appear to live a glamorous life of luxury and high stakes and lots of money, but I have none of that.
You're always on tour. You're always traveling. Hold on. I guess we should rephrase that. On tour means something else on this show now. So you're always going around, bro. You're always,
and that's the whole thing
around.
When people tell me you travel a lot, that must be fun. I'm like, I'm working my ass off when I'm traveling. It ain't all that fun.
Usually it's not fun when you're on the road.
Yeah, it's like you see me after a shower
about being on the road, right? There's something that it's like a vibrant state. You know what I mean? You're constantly on the move. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's exhausting. I would like. I don't think I could live a constant life like that. I'd fantasized one time about being a trucker.
Yeah.
Right. Like. I said that in the military because, one time I'm going to probably just, throw all this away and just go be a trucker. You know what I mean? Just drive all around the country. Well, the thought was, I'd seen all of Iraq and all of Afghanistan, but very little of my nation, of the nation that we live in. So I still need to go see all the North. Still hadn't seen any of it. Like Minnesota. I hadn't seen Minnesota. I hadn't seen Wisconsin. Hadn't seen any of those states. So. Love to see I'd love to see Montana. You know what I mean?
You got to go to Wyoming. I'm telling you.
Love to go fishing in Montana, man.
Wyoming, that Jackson Hole trip that we took. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, never that. And me, I love snow. I'd love to go, snowboarding down a mountain in Jackson Hole. So
it was so weird. -7 degrees, and I walk outside and it doesn't feel cold. Of course, I'm wearing the right gear.
But you're properly equipped.
Properly equipped. Yeah. I was really.
But still, -7. That's -7's frigid, buddy. That's colder than a witch's titty on an Eskimo pie.
You ain't never lied, brother.
Or wait, Eskimo, a Klondike bar. Man, damn it! I said it wrong.
Yeah.
Klondike. My granddaddy used to say that, man.
Well, luckily, when I was out in the -7 at that point, I had more cushion for the pushing, if you know what I mean. I was a bigger boy, so it felt really good.
Yeah, you and those damn speed classes, those damn cycling classes. Go get your weight down. Hey man, we got a big slate to talk about, man. What do we got? First off, if you're out and about, if you're mobile, hit us up on that code of text line. Lottery number is 512-222-9328. Again, 512-222-9328. Smash that subscribe button if you hadn't done so already. Get those crowns on top of your head, your digital head.
Wags. Code text line that you just mentioned right there. Our man Mike McCall, McCall Custom Homes.
Mike, we are reaching out to you soon. I swear to God, we are dragging our feet and procrastinating. We're just making sure all the arrangements are right. Okay, you before I sign another loan or go into another hole, I just want to make sure everything's right, Mike. That's all.
That Cleveland Brown thing. Mike McCall did that falling into the pool a few weeks ago. Stepped off into oblivion, fully clothed with phone and all. So that's
the dagger. Hopefully, you were able to put the phone in a bowl of rice real quick to kind of saturate or suck up the water that might have gotten into your phone. Or, I mean, you're going to take on water immediately, right? As soon as you get into that pool. So hopefully, your electronics were good. Phone's the lifeline, amigo. And if you're Mike McCall, he's probably got all of his clients on there too. So
yeah. Speaking of water, you know what I kind of get caught into this time of year. Anybody else check out Shark Week? Shark Week.
Bucky, I thought there's like they dedicate 2 weeks to it too, don't they?
Yeah.
Bucky was going to talk about that when you were gone. A little bit of Shark Week.
While we were gone, one of the girls was here, taking care of the other kids, of the pups, and she's totally into Shark Week. And so the downstairs Tom McKay TV stays on Discovery at this point. And like last night,
the TV on all day, or when you're gone, do you keep the TV on for the dogs?
I keep one on in here, for them, ESPN,
just to drown out all the noise outside.
Just noise, just something. Yeah, they like to watch, bowling, or my one dog really likes.
I usually honestly I put the golf channel on, Rodney, like the sound of the birds and everything, like you know how it usually captures like the ambient noise. The camera work does, or the audio feed for golf.
You hear the birds.
Yeah, you hear the birds, and you hear low tone whispers. It's very calm. It's very soothing for the dogs. Usually that's what I put on.
And then it's like dad being at home, because every now and then you hear a fuck. Fuck. But like last night, the last shark show that I watched before I went to bed, like this dude, they were in Australia, and they go out and they're looking for sharks. And what this dude was doing, they would like get the venom out of that. They would capture the shark, get the venom out, and this dude would inject himself with the venom to see what it would do to him, to see the effect.
Time out. Sharks have venom? This is a stupid question. And it's very dumb because I paid attention in science. Sharks have venom?
These did. This was like a ghost shark that they were like on this inevitable quest to find, and they would find every other kind of shark. He injected himself with 2 different venoms that came out of sharks, and they would like get it out of the shark. They'd find like the little.
What the hell does the venom do for the shark? Like it's got teeth, razor sharp teeth.
That was my thought, but I guess I don't know if it's like, because I remember being a kid where you would go fishing at the tank, and you'd catch a catfish, and you'd grab the catfish and that sucker would stick you. But yeah, this dude was injecting himself, and like the ghost shark that he caught last night. So he did that, and the thing is, it's very prepared. They have like a medic there. They have all this medicine that they can give him if he starts flipping out and spazzing out and doing all these different things. But he injected himself, and he's like, "Oh man, my arm is going numb," and all this shit. I'm like, this dude's like about to die. But I'm like, who injects themselves? It's like if I see a rattlesnake, here, just bite this. I thought sharks had lasers.
I thought CB comes in with off the top turnbuckle. I thought sharks had lasers.
But
straight line, CB.
And it's like, who in the hell, like these people that they like drop down in there and they like swim right up to the shark. And I went snorkeling in Mexico, and the fish will swim by and do all these different things. But I am not going to, on my own recognizance, swim up to a shark and be pointing at him. And they're like, "Oh, and there's the gills." And there's
apparently there's one called a dogfish, or spiny dogfish to be completely technical. But yeah, I just looked one. Apparently, sharks, a dogfish shark is known to have venom in it. So I had no idea. That is. Well, there's an enlightenment here. You learn something new every day on Chaos Theory, because we're so chaotic. Make sure you tune in to Texas Sports Unfiltered. Like the videos. That way you can get enhanced with just a plethora of knowledge, El Guapo.
And be careful.
Watch the Three Amigos the other night.
Nice.
Still a classic. Yep, it still goes. Look up here, look up here, look up here.
Oh man, we need to record
You don't have to be. You don't have to remake all the other 80 movies, right? You can go get ideas from all these movies and then try and bring them to life, like Mel Brooks one. Not that Mel Brooks did the Three Amigos, but you can go back and get creative, right? You don't have to copy everything. That's my point here.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw that they're bringing back Indiana Jones. They're redoing Indiana Jones. Glenn Powell and this
everything's
Ryan. It's Captain America, the Chris Evans guy. Glenn Powell and Chris Evans are slated as the guys to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
For a reboot, right?
No originality at all. I mean, speaking of copies, we need to, you, Zay, and I need to do the Three Amigos thing. And we can have the Marine, the brother, and the Mexican. Three Amigos.
I thought you were going to be listed as El Guapo, man. Handsome.
We could do that. And by the way, I'm not sure if you want Wags and I talking about you, because
breaking news
yesterday we were talking about, remember we were talking about Justin Fields? It's like, this poor guy, man. So we go in, we talk to him or with him or about him for about 10 minutes. And they cart him off on a cart today, Jets practice, with an apparent lower leg injury.
Yeah, hopefully, again, we'll look into this, but hopefully, and this seemed like it was going to be the season for Fields, right? Like it was all going to start to come together, but yeah, too little, too late, and of course, you hate to see this, man. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and he can get back on the field.
Yeah, because it finally is his opportunity. Doesn't have somebody. Well, Tyrod Taylor, I guess, is who.
You got T-Mobile, but T-Mobile has kind of been on 3 wheels instead of 4 for a while. So, or the bars, he's down to 3 bars instead of 5 bars.
Yeah. So, I saw that today.
A plethora, El Guapo? Yes. Plethora. You know what plethora means?
Yeah. See, that's good stuff right there. We should do that as we get to foot. By the way, I know that you and I have kind of talked about it. We do need to get a photo shoot done at a park or something. So we're ready for football season. Like I know
has a photo shoot done. You did not show up to picture day.
I was out of town. I had to go. I was on sabbatical or something. I think
you did not show up, buddy.
I think I had to be in jail that weekend.
Or you were detained, is that right?
I think I had probation that weekend, and had to be in the can that weekend. As
we'll go put our TSU shirts on, and we'll go sit by a fountain and get something really nice done. You know what
you and I had to do? We had to go sit on the Round Rock, since we're in Round Rock. Go sit on the Round Rock out in the sand bath.
Why don't we get in the fountain, put some water in our mouth, and spit it out like a waterfall
at each other
with our feet up.
Oh, I mean, either that or we can go to take a leak and just do the X. Take a pee.
Crossing the streams is crazy. Why do you always have to go there? Like, why do you always have to go there, though? Like, I'm trying to be somewhat decent. Like, you just say, no, we're just pulling this Band-Aid completely off.
Yeah, let's just rip it off.
My guy, where do you want to go first? I mean, it's been 30 minutes into the show. We still haven't even talked sports yet. Where do you want to go first? You're leading off, baby. Where are we going?
Have you caught the brand new podcast? I think our man Bob Ballou from the KI42, I think is what it is. Vince Young and Mac Brown on a podcast.
What was this?
Talking Texas football. It's called a Stampede. I think it just premiered.
I had no idea that Bob was even doing something, man. That's great for Bob. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the moderator right there. He gets to sit there and listen to all this. I think they're going to do it all year. Episode 1.
Bringing in guests from all the old championship teams and stuff.
I think it'll be a little bit of that, but I think mainly it's going to be them talking about now. Previewing games. They'll tell stories, of course, kind of related to, and I guess it makes sense. We're at the 20th anniversary of that 2005 championship season, so kind of the timing is right there.
And reviving that Longhorn brand, that Longhorn network, huh? Keeping it going.
And it kind of feels like going into that season. Remember where the expectations were so high, and so forth. But episode 1, I guess, dropped yesterday or the day before, and some really good sound here from Vince Young talking about Arch Manning, and he also happens to mention the quarterback that was here before Arch Manning.
Very humble kid. First of all, he has won the locker room already. And then he has seen it, from Quinn. A lot of people don't give Quinn the respect that he deserved. I really feel like this man played through pain, through injuries, went through all kind of adversity, the media bashing him all the time. And, when I was there, I saw that same situation with Chris Sims. And I was like, whoa, I don't know if I want to play quarterback at the University of Texas, because they was calling him Chrissy and calling him all kind of names. And I really feel like he still played well. So I feel like Arch Manning saw that with Quinn, and it actually helped. And one thing I like about Coach Brown, what he did, he make you redshirt. He wants you to go travel and learn how to travel, write the plays down, be around the quarterbacks and, how to prepare yourself and things like that. And I really felt like that helped me. He also.
Yeah. Really good spot on points right there that we have mentioned, that I think that a lot of that maturation process for Arch was kind of sitting in the shadows right there, just learning.
Right.
Learning.
Right. And so there's something to throw in. There's something to throw in your guy to the wolves, right? And getting them ready and having them survive that way. But also to speak on what Vince is saying there too, right? To carry the clipboard around, to wear the red shirt, to travel, to get all the little things, right? You do all the little things right, and usually it takes care of the big things naturally, right? It just kind of naturally progresses like that. So when you start looking at all the finer things, the finer details, right, and then that naturally kind of transcends and goes on in the field, I think that's a really good progression in how to get there. And I mean, of course, there's multiple avenues and multiple schools of thought, right? I subscribe to the one that Vince goes to, but a lot of people are like, yeah, you know what, you'll learn how to swim eventually going out there with the sharks. So you're gonna regress before you progress that way. To quote my old Pop Warner football coach right there, Denny Miller, you're gonna go backwards before you go forwards. Often that way you don't really get a Jaden Daniels that often, man. That's a diamond in the rough. That's an anomaly, especially in this league now. Remember Peyton Manning's first year?
Oh, yeah.
Atrocious, awful, and he's considered one of the best to ever do it. So very rarely do you find a Jaden Daniels. Again, a natural progression and kind of I'm backing up what Vince says here. I'm all about that. And it's good to hear him speak up and stick up for Quinn too, man. Like Quinn did. He had to go through all that stuff. Like people were ready for him to leave, or at least half of the fan base was ready for him to get the hell out and let Arch take over, man. We even made some comments like, hey man, if Quinn's banged up, if his foot's too busted, put Arch in there and see what Arch can do. We've even said that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Again, great piece from Vince there, man.
So CB, gotcha, man. I would love to recreate that. I think that would be pretty cool. It's the old zone. John Medani was on here a couple weeks ago, and we talked about when they did the almost naked thing promotion. But yeah, they're with VY talking about that, and I think it kind of validates what a lot of us have thought about yours, and at the same time with Arch, because I think so much this to where I am still okay. I know the potential. I know what I think I know what we're going to see.
But did you hear what Vince also said too? Like he was almost reluctant to come to Texas because of how they were treating Chris Sims during the Applewhite and Sims back and forth deal, right? So he's just like, man, if this is how this is going to be, maybe I don't want to do that. Sark kind of got ahead of that, right? And kind of
didn't let it happen.
Showed the quarterbacks coming in, hey, this is how we handle quarterbacks here. Like, this is my quarterback right now. You're going to sit, you're going to learn. And when I think you're ready, you'll go in, you'll get the ones, you'll be QB1, but in time, you'll get ample playing. I would say ample playing time. If we have a good enough lead, or if somebody goes down, you're the guy I'm calling on. But just be ready. That needs to be the statement in the message going forward. That way you just get expectations out of the way, like and communication is up on the table, right? Like when you have a kid thinking that he's going to come in here and just take this guy's job, and if you're good enough, absolutely so, right? But all being all, I don't think Arch had all the tools that Quinn had last year. I mean, I would have loved to see more on display, but it looked like Quinn had it all, and Arch was still learning. So there we go.
It would have been really easy last year if the plan was to make this Arch's team at some point while yours was still here. It would have been really easy when Quinn goes down and Arch goes in and wins to, okay, Arch has come in and we've won games. Let's give him, it's his team. It would have been real easy to do that.
You don't think Sark would have done that though? Like
that's what I'm saying. It'd have been real easy to do that.
If Arch was absolutely ready, you don't think Sarkisian would have done that?
Yeah, and that's
what I do. Like
where he could.
I mean, I love the relationship that they created. Like, I love the relationship that Sarkisian's created with all of his quarterbacks. He even says that I was a quarterback, so I try to relate to all of them, right? In the best ways that I know how.
Yeah.
I love the rapport that he's created, but I also believe that, you know, as good of the rapport that he's created, as great of the relationship that he had with Quinn, I think there was an understanding on the table, like, hey, if we need to go here to get us to the championship, then that's where I would go. I thought like that last year. I just, you know, after reflecting on this, I ultimately don't think Arch was ready for. Right. He had great games last year against some run-of-the-mill team, or not run-of-the-mill, but I won't call them Sisters of the Weak and Unscrupulous, but UTSA. Come on, man. Let's call it what it is here, man. It was cleanup duty, or not cleanup duty, but it was I don't know. It was relief. It was 1A against 1B, basically. We'll say that. If you have to compare, or if you have to have me compare the locker room of UTSA to Texas, then you guys are just absolutely blind and you don't know football. So
yeah. And the whole thing was, I mean, look, this it was evident the year before, because yours the year before went down, missed a couple of games. You had a kid that came in, towed the line, did the job. When yours was ready, he came back in and he took him the rest of the way. It was Sarkisian's plan. This was Quinn's time. And I think that's why people ad nauseum that want to argue the point that, well, the better quarterback wasn't playing. Yes, the better quarterback was playing. I mean, for the last 2 years, this was Quinn's team.
Yeah, everybody on Team Arch is going to say that, though, right?
Well, you know what? I think that more as yes to the fan that, I mean, what more? I don't think that Arch would have done what Quinn did if he'd have gone the rest of the way, because some of that inexperience would have popped in, I think, at some point. And yours was just a better equipped quarterback for that team.
And my only knock on yours was his reluctancy to run. Mm-hmm. Like that's honestly the only thing that I would have on you, and the fact that he would telegraph a few of his passes going across them, like he was already throwing it before he even made the read. So he was all those timing routes. It's kind of like that's, you know, very comparison with Tua. But yeah, that's great audio clip from Vince Young there. Great conversation too, man. Where else you want to go, amigo?
I'll tell you what. Well, we need to go where we always go at this time of the morning. Let's go over to Bee Cave and talk about Covert Bee Cave. New or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, there's one place to go. It is covertbeecave.com. Start out there, then you make your way out to the dealership and you get amazing service, and then the service after the sale for all of your service needs and so forth. They've got the service bays there, and you are going to find what you're looking for. I mean, we say it all the time. Nobody beats a Covert deal. Not now, not ever. How about some customer testimonials about our friends at Covert BK?
They treat you like family. My husband and I have bought several vehicles from the Coverts over the years, and it's always just been easy and effortless.
By the time we walk into the dealership, paperwork's ready and we're ready to buy.
I walked in, literally signed a couple of things, and I was 10 minutes in and out.
They just take care of everything.
I personally feel like people took care of me. I feel like as they're taking care of me, if they take care of other people that I know, it's just that much of a plus.
Covert, born and raised in Austin,
where you are always treated like family.
That's right. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you, Dan. Nobody beats a Covert deal. Not now, not ever. CovertBeeCave.com. Also, a new lawyer in town, friends. When that storm hits, you call Hurricane Hecht. That's right. Ryan Hurricane Hecht, your go-to personal injury attorney right here in Austin. Take your cell phone out right now and put this number in your library, 512-938-8929. A proud Texas Longhorn fighting for fellow Texans. He's not just a lawyer, friends. He's a Longhorn through and through. He brings that same fire and pride into the courtroom injured in a car accident, hurt on the job, random dog bite, you get bit by a shark, you're going to need a personal injury attorney, and that is our man, Ryan Hurricane Hecht. And the best news, guys, oh, by the way, you don't pay unless you win. That's right. No fees unless Ryan Hurricane Hecht gets money in your pocket. Aggressive in court, compassionate with clients, Austin-based, and Texas proud, friend of the show, fighter of the people, long-time relationship with BK. You saw him right here, Ryan, talking the other day. Got a phone call, picked up a client while he was live right here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. Don't let those big insurance companies bully you around, because they will try to do it. They're going to want to make a deal with you. They're going to turn into Steve Harvey. No, he's Family Feud. The other guy, the let's make a deal guy, that they're going to want to make a deal. Nope. Let Hurricane Hecht blow their case out of the water. Call them today, 512-938-8929. You can also email them at ryan@hechtlawfirm.com. That's Ryan at HECHT lawfirm.com. Check them out today. You'll be glad you got together. Wags, on your Tom McKay system, you watch a lot of Red Zone, right?
Yeah, I did. Hey, real quick, Rob, I saw this. I think we were having the conversation. I agree with. I'm kind of on board with you. I don't know why the conversation was relevant now. I think we were just firing off of what Vince's comments
Vince was talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, we were just doing a little coattailing off of Vince there. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Quinn's in the NFL now, and it's Arch's team.
Yeah, and that was the plan all along, and that's where I think that it's always been. But it's just really cool to hear where you have somebody like Vince Young, because I do kind of correlate this time right now to that time with Coach Brown and with Vince for what the expectations were going into 2005. I mean, you think about it. I mean, there's a lot of that's there. I mean, including this game at the Horseshoe. I mean, there's this huge, daunting task right there. You look at the year before.
Austin? If Mac is in Austin now, let's get Mac on the show.
Hey, Mac's got his own podcast. He may have it
here. We'll share. We'll share
exclusive rights. Oh, it'd be great to have. Can you imagine?
We'll share info. We'll share stories, Mac. Hey, I got a picture of myself in Mac's chair.
Nice.
Making moves, making calls. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this set up. I'm gonna get this fired up here, man.
Boy, an hour with Mac Brown, a chaos theory hour with Mac Brown. You think he'd do it? You think he'd last?
I don't think he'd last. I don't know if he would do the entire hour, right?
Yeah.
But oh shit. Damn it.
Did he just text you?
No.
Oh, I thought he just texted you and said, "You tell me when, Adam, and I'll be there."
I deleted the effing picture.
Oh, come on, man. Was it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Call him.
I'm gonna know. It's gotta be stored in my phone somewhere. I would not I would not just throw that away. Like, that's gonna be in a special, because we did a whole tour. He did a tour for the veterans of UT.
Oh yeah. I gotta tell you, man,
that sucks. All right, I'll find out. I wanted to share that with the show, but anyways, I'll get back to that. Hunter, good to see you, good sir. Good to see you.
Good hair day. Damn, look at this.
I usually have good hair. Usually my hair is okay, right?
I mean, mine looks great. I wear a cap every day.
I put this rug on here usually.
Well, you know what happens to me is, so I got a haircut right before we went on vacation, and
I think you might have came in right after we talked about that, but we just got done talking about that, Rob.
Yeah. See, I'm like Rory McIlroy. I go and I get a haircut, and I heard Amanda Balionis tell him the other day, "Rory, you cut your hair, but it just shows the gray more." So that's what happens to me when I get a trim, not some trim. So anyway, let's go back to wearing the cap.
Where are we going next? Where are you steering it to, partner? You got the wheel.
Red Zone. You like Red Zone, right?
ESPN. I do like Red Zone. So often when I do the Sunday ticket, I usually I'll have the Giants on one cube, and when I say cube, because I'll go with the 4, right? I'll have 4, quad cams, what they call them, right? So you have, you split the TV in 4s. I usually have a Giants on one, and then I try to dedicate at least the bottom corner or, the Red Zone channel or at least one cubicle that doesn't have a team that's going to be picked up on the Red Zone, right? And then some events or some cases, if I have a multiple game, or if I have enough to where I can get all 4 TVs, I'll put the one TV dedicated solely to the red zone. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I gotta like Hanson's kind of grown on me.
Me too.
The first year I just wasn't about Chris Hansen. I wasn't at all. And now like I don't know, there's just if I need him in my ear on Sunday, right? For my fantasy kind of my fantasy updates. Oh, and here you go. If you guys got this guy in your fantasy, we got an update for you. He's kind of become a staple to my Sunday. I don't know. What's your thoughts on Red Zone? Are you a Hansen fan?
I love Hansen.
Okay.
I mean that dude, the intro, you know, when it counts itself down, you know, I love that. Of course, now we have the TSU countdown thing in the morning, but when he comes on and he's like, sit back, relax, and get ready for 8 hours of nonstop, I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? That my little thingamabob tickles, you know, when he does that every Sunday.
I don't know. I'd make it hurt so good. I don't know why. It's just I need him. I need me some Hansen, man.
And he is so good. Like when they're showing whatever, and he's like, "Oh, we got to go to Philadelphia. Red zone opportunity. Boom."
Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, no, but see, and I'll tell you, Hansen does make a difference because I don't remember what TV provider it was, Wags, but they had Red Zone also, and it wasn't Hansen. It was another dude.
Rodney. I love you, man. Hansen, I don't know if Hansen actually makes that much of a difference, but I love Hansen. Hansen absolutely makes a difference. I'll watch Red Zone without Hansen. I enjoy some of the remarks that Hansen puts out there, though. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh like this show does.
But it's like this other dude. It's like he tries
Who was
to be
the other
him.
Dude.
I don't know. It's the guy with big ears.
Didn't you like Sirianni? Wasn't that his name? Andrew Sirianni?
It's a guy with he
was going to take off. He was going to fly.
He got some flaps.
Yeah, he was going to fly.
It's that guy. I mean,
he had wrestling ears. Honestly, that's what it looked like. It looked like he had wrestling ears.
Both sides. Yeah, that dude. It's not the same. I mean, it's not. He tries to be that guy, but it's not the same. And but so if ESPN is going to acquire
Andrew Siciliano,
really good football analyst. I mean, I'm not saying anything. I just only know him by the ears. You know, it's like, man, go parasailing with that dude.
Wonder how Kyler Murray's dynasty. I don't think Kyler Murray's even. Isn't there a new Call of Duty game coming out?
Oh yeah,
Kyler Murray's off the. Kyler Murray's he's off the market, guys. There's a Call of Duty game coming out.
That dude ain't seen a playbook yet.
He's done. He's hitting the sticks. He's probably mouse and key. He's mouse and key. He's not a console guy. He's not hitting the sticks. He's doing some mouse and key. Where else are we going to go, amigo? Where are we going to go?
So kind of my thought with that red zone thing. So if ESPN acquires this,
yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I got off on Chris.
So if ESPN
talking about Chris Hansen,
are they going to like ESPN it? I mean, I hope
that ESPN it.
Wags, I don't want to turn on Red Zone and have to look at Stephen A. Smith all day on Sunday. Imagine having him on there and what's his name? Our man, the punter, McAfee. I mean, I hope if they're going to acquire Red Zone, leave it alone. Just leave it as it is. Don't ESPN it. Don't put your own spin.
Well, aren't they just acquiring the rights?
I hope.
Like are you saying that if ESPN absorbs or buys gets the rights to Red Zone, are you saying that we're no longer going to get Chris Hansen? Is that what you're saying?
I would hope not. Away? I would hope not. I hope they get him too. I mean, I hope he's like part of the package. I want it to stay as it is. I just want to have to look for
got a lot going on to where, and also like I almost think that McAfee will stay in the lane of college football, right? And let Hansen and bring back Siciliano, right? And maybe they do like a thing on ESPN, but I don't see McAfee doing NFL, right? Like right now he seems to be the brand, or he seems to be the I guess the succession plan for Corso, right? That's what, or at least that's what I envision. So to me, like if I'm going to be working so much on Saturday, which he's going to be doing, he's going to be doing College Game Day. I don't think he's going to be doing College Game Day and then NFL Red Zone. Like that is,
I hope not.
Your weekend's done. It's gone. Right. And I still think he's doing stuff with Raw too. So, and Raw's on Monday night. So there's
oh, that's right. I forgot about
he would be a very busy person.
Yeah. Speaking of that, so about McAfee on game day, I think I saw last week did Fox hire
I thought it was Chris Hansen. My bad. It's Scott Hansen.
Chris Hansen's that conspiracy guy, isn't he, or the detective or whatever he is? I know it's not Stan Hansen, the wrestler.
Chris Hansen. I don't know who. I thought Chris Hansen was literally the dude from.
I think he's like an investigator. Isn't he the one that goes out and finds the pedophiles and shit? I think that's
Chris
who he
Hansen.
is.
Yes, you're right. It is. You're right. Chris Hansen's the guy that goes and gets the. Hey, are you trying to find some little kids, buddy?
I mean,
Catch the Predator. Yes, that's right. God, I knew. I'm getting it. I'm getting all my Hansens. I thought, hell, didn't they make a band too? Wasn't Hansen a band?
Oh yeah, them brothers. Yeah, it was the blonde-headed kids. Yeah, and then Stan Hansen, the wrestler that did the lariat, did a clothesline, did the lariat. That's old.
It's not Hansen. It's not Hansen. Hansen's not the name of the band.
No, Nelson.
No,
there was a Hansen band, dude.
Damn it, Rodney.
Hansen. Yeah, there was a Hansen band.
I got ADHD. You can't do this to me.
I know we had
Is there a Hansen band?
There was the Nelsons. You had Nelson.
Okay, all right. What's the next subject? We move on. Next topic, Rodney.
On with the McAfee thing. So I saw last week. So now
it's Bob. It is Hansen. You're right. It's Hansen. Bob.
So Fox big game day, and I guess this will premiere with Texas and Ohio State.
Chaos Theory.
So they went out and they got the Barstool. They got Dave Portnoy now is, I guess, going to be the combatant for the McAfee effect. So the Barstool guy now is going to be on Midday, Fox game day, whatever. Big game.
Where is this? I didn't see this.
I saw this last week. Again, I was in Mexico, but I saw it on the X. So yeah, Portnoy apparently will join Fox big game Saturday or whatever their version of game day is. That's going to kind of be their head-to-head competition with.
Their color. I mean, they're wacky wild color, right? Like we are.
Yeah.
He's going to be their chaos theory.
Yeah. That's exactly that's going to be their guy. So that's going to kind of be their new mascot.
All right. Good for Dave. Yeah. I mean, Barstool's growing, man. Barstool's growing. I mean, you guys, PFT commenter and Big Cat, they're probably the two of the best to do it. I like Dave, but honestly, like pardon my take is probably the best show, of their brand or of Barstool's logo. But yeah, they're always throwing together some good stuff, good content. And PFT commenters kind of from the Beltway area too, from the Washington DC area. Just a fan of, and Dan's hilarious. So yeah, just a good show, good fun group of guys to follow, kind of like us here at Texas Sports Unfiltered. Remember to like the video, guys. That's right. And if you're doing anything with football, hockey, movies, you got to do it with audiovisual consultations. 512-255-8678 is the lottery numbers. Make sure you guys hit them up. Call Tom today. It's very easy to do so. I just gave you the numbers, or go to the website at avconsultations.com. It's very easy, but why hear from me when you can hear from the big guy himself?
Hey everyone, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been serving and assisting customers in the Texas area.
I think I got this by now, old man. This is Camilla McKay, Audiovisual's social media and website manager. Our company has been helping you sit back and relax for the last 37 years. We come to you, and we're the kind of workers you want in your home. We give you all the advice at a great price, and we do a lot more than just audiovisual systems. We have employees capable of performing services like electrical contracting, heated floors, motorized shades. Am I forgetting anything, old man?
Yeah, we do surveillance systems, controlled lighting systems, and landscape lighting, computer networks, multi-room audio systems, and of course, we install some really cool theaters.
I had a feeling you were going to say that last one.
Now, am I forgetting anything?
Only this. Remember to hug your kids, laugh with strangers, and make love to whoever the hell you want.
So give us a call at 512-255-8678.
Or visit us online at avconsultations.com.
That's 512-255-8678.
Even if you're watching To Catch a Predator, you got to do it with AV Consultations. So when you said that earlier, Joe, why don't you come in here and take a seat? I was just like, why is he quote? And then it didn't hit me until you actually said Chris Hansen's the guy from The Predator. I'm just like, oh my God. All right. Why are you going there? You're being very strange today, Jake. And thank you for calling us out. I appreciate it.
Speaking of the TV people of these, since we're on the media thing here, I turned on Good Morning America this morning. You know who was on there? Like the host, not Michael Strayhorn. He's on there all the time. Joe Buck, the host.
Michael Strayhorn. Michael Strayhorn's definitely not on there. Strahan.
Strahan. Yeah, Strahan.
How many names can we get wrong today?
Michael Strahan. Yeah, Michael Strahan.
When you did that earlier, I was just like, why is he doing that? Why is he putting Predator? I thought you were just being real weird, and then it hit me that I said Chris. I said the wrong name. Oh my God, Chris Hansen is in the kitchen waiting for you.
Oh no, man! That dude.
What a show, guys!
I caught you, Chris Hansen. A lot of times you say shit, and I just leave it alone. I'm like, yeah.
Right. But you can't do that because sometimes sometimes I throw shit at you just to see if you're paying attention to.
And this is why I don't. This is why I don't tell you, hey, dude, it's actually Scott, because it's like, so you say it, and I'm like, okay, I hear that, and then you keep saying it, and I'm like, okay, he's not doing that on purpose.
No,
so I've got to let that go.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. We'll say that. Today absolutely was not. Today absolutely was not. Hey, we got to pick the wheel.
Before the wheel.
Top 5.
Before the wheel. Did you see what happened last night in baseball?
Guardians beat the Birds 3-2. I mean, I watched the
not
Birds
only that, bigger than that. My man, JV Verlander, finally
he got a win, man. JV got off the slide.
Got off the slide. My man,
got to win. Wins, but can we go back to wins aren't guaranteed, Paul Skeens?
Oh man, let me tell you, dude.
You can have one hell of a year throwing your arm, throwing strikes all over the damn plate and carving people up and chopping them down, but you ain't got people behind you. Or you ain't got people at the plate putting crooked numbers up on the board. It ain't gonna win. You're just not gonna get wins in that column, man. It sucks.
Yeah,
that's why. Hey, again, fantasy baseball. Alert here. Fantasy baseball announcement. PSA. Always take the premium of the relief pitcher over the starting pitcher. That's. I will live by that. I'll die on that hill, man.
And I have to throw this one at you because I was looking at some proposed trades with the trade deadline coming up on the 31st, and one of them that's by the experts, Orioles trade Ryan O'Hearn to the Astros.
For what in return, though?
Yeah, they didn't prognosticate any of that, but it's like, I'll take that. I will take that. Need some help there.
Where would have hurt? Like, I don't feel like. Well, no, you guys do. You guys need some lumber, right? Which is weird because I look at your lineup and I feel like you guys have the hitters too. So
need a lefty. I think lefty is something that the and I still go back to this because I was looking at this yesterday as well. I mean, still with the injury report that the Astros are producing, and the fact that you are still, again, the West is down. But still, the fact that you've managed to build yourself a 6-game lead, it is. You need to add some of that productivity, on the left side. Jordan, if he's coming back, I mean, to me, Jose Altuve, the whole thing with moving him to the outfield, I kind of rather have him back at second base. He's a little prone out there. I like that move a lot.
What do you guys have in the farm right now? Is your old farm system decent? Like, I haven't been paying attention to the Astros.
It is. I mean, it really is. I mean, it always is. I mean, it always is. But
traditionally, you're right.
But I would really like to, with what you have right now, if you can keep winning and you get a Ryan O'Hearn, you can put Altuve back in the infield. But the left-hand hitter. The left-hand hitter is what
arms will be coming, right? You'll have to get rid of some arms if that's the case. But here's the thing too, like this is why it just doesn't make sense for me. The Orioles are having a down year, and it's because of what just not being active in the front office. We talked about this,
And I think they're going to probably start cleaning house here, Wags. Unfortunately, I mean, I think the Orioles.
This is the thing that doesn't make sense. Like you have even when I'm thinking about what the Orioles need in return, like the Orioles farm system is loaded. It's absolutely star-studded, right? You need arms, but you're starting to build around that. You've drafted catchers out of the galore now. Like, what in the hell would you be asking in return, for O'Hearn here? I think if you're the Orioles, kind of suck on this thing and bite it and you're buying instead of and selling. It sucks. You're not going to get that much off of your investments this year, but damn it, eat the loss and wear it on the chin and turn around and get ready to reload for next year. Not rebuild, reload. You're already built. I think if you continue to start letting all your hitters, sparsely go away, ones and twos. You saw it with Santander. Like everybody said, oh, Santander, losing him and losing Danny Colome, it isn't gonna hurt much. Bullshit. Well, two cogs. One out of the rotation that was able to give you really good knockout innings, and then you got Tony Santander that provides 30 and 100. So it's tough when you take those type of people out of your lineup. You're going to have the same type of supplemental issues if you don't have when you get rid of O'Hearn. So
and I would really like for Baltimore's sake, I mean, for the franchise, don't do nothing. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Just sit. Yeah, sometimes it's just fine to sit. You don't have to make a move, man.
Yeah, and kind of, because if you sit, essentially what you're doing is, I think you're building for the future, because you're not pulling pieces out.
Right, you're not doing a knee-jerk reaction, right? You're not saying we don't need this right now, and you're also not sacrificing your future. So
Right. And that's the whole thing. It's one thing if you're going to make these kind of moves, but then you get into the offseason and you're going to go try to be able to win one of these a big free agent. You're not going to win the big free agent, unfortunately. I mean, it's just not possible.
Ooh. Okay, now if you switch this up in fantasy baseball, Rob comes back with quality starts, right? Instead of putting wins in there, you put quality starts for your starting pitchers. Now that changes your draft your draft tendency and your draft approach and how you want to build your teams a little bit differently there if you're getting quality starts. I like that. I making that move over wins instead of quality starts. That's good for fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's time. We're a little bit past the hour. I don't see the guys just yet. You want to go ahead and sneak this thing in? Let's get the wheel.
Let's do it.
You want to do it?
My man.
All right, amigo.
And Jack Burton there with the Pirates. I mean, I'm seeing the Pirates talking about proposed trading Mitch Kellner to the Red Sox. So, yeah, I mean, the Pirates, Royals, Orioles. I mean, those are teams that where, just same shit. I mean,
basically the same house looking for the same tool here. All right. So let me ask you a question. Do we need to add anything? I put some stuff. I put comic book characters on here and snacks, the two that we had from yesterday. Based off of the stuff that we see on the wheel, do you guys have any more recommendations? We got NFL unis, stripper names, comic characters, snacks, blockbuster trades. I added that one. Actresses, video games, adult film stars, dream cars, top 5 play-by-play, best hockey sweaters, World Series teams, racing movies, and I took all the other stuff that we had out. All right. You guys ready? No additions? We good? We can spin it?
I think we're good.
All right. Oh, I thought you said snacks. Didn't we say snacks?
Yeah, snacks. You had that one yet? That was yesterday's that came up.
All right, here we go. Spinning the wheel. Where are we going to land for the top 5 on Friday? Actresses.
Top 5 actresses.
We are going to be doing your actresses. Your favorite actresses, not the best actresses or award-winning actresses, but I would like to think that they would go hand in hand.
Is this movie and television or?
Yeah. So
theater?
Movies, streams, shows, all that jazz.
Pornography?
Porn.
Oh, that's a different one.
No, that's a different. Actually, you can't go porn. That's different. So.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll hit.
Well, there we have it. Anything else on the slate before we got to get out of here? Again, another reminder, guys, like the video.
Yeah, and tell your friends. And don't forget, there in the YouTube description there, we're partnering up there. The St. Jude's Walk that's coming up. We've got a PFU team. Donate there. I mean, you can do a virtual walk. You can do the actual physical walk. Our man Bucky will be the MC. I think that's on September 27th. So if you feel the ability right there, feel free to join us with that. I did see a follow-up to the breaking news that we led off the program with. It looks like Justin Fields, it's a toe injury. So that could be
hyperextended toe, broken toe. Broken. I mean, not broken. A broken toe sucks. Like that's 4 weeks to 6 weeks healing right there.
Slow him down,
and you got to stay off of it. So that absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Broken toe, a toothache. Those are they seem like little injuries, little blemishes that wouldn't hurt. A toothache will wreck your day. Honestly, a toothache will absolutely wreck your day.
That's the worst pain. I hate that. I mean that right there. I mean, while
broken toes suck too because you can't even walk. It just sucks. You got to tape it up. That's all you can do.
Yeah,
you just got to tape it to your other toe and walk. That's it.
Like when you jack up a finger, I mean, you can splint them together and kind of add some stability and all that. But the toothache, dude, that's the one where it's like, holy smoke, that is the worst.
Toothaches, earaches, stuff that you really can't control. You just got to let it, kind of let the medicine seep in and kind of go away, man.
It's that horrible thing. It's that horrible thing when somebody tells you, well, you got to let it run its course. I'm like, it's a long course. Like Coda, just 3.41 miles. It's a
good hygiene, gents. Good hygiene. Keep your ears clean. Matter of fact, I don't even take Q-tips. Real PSA here, hygiene PSA here. I don't even take Q-tips to get the
wax.
Shit out of your ear or whatever.
Wax. I do that.
The wax
all the time.
No, dude, I got this device. So it's a scraper. It's got a camera on it as well.
What?
Yeah, it's got a camera at the end of the pole.
Like the doctor?
In your ear, and you actually dig out instead of jamming the earwax in there, you're scraping out your earwax.
Ooh.
And you get a tissue, and it's kind of satisfying and gross, but really cool to do. But you're pulling out all the stuff that's in your ear, and you know that it's you don't have any crap in there.
Does it feel good like the nose trimmer? I like trimming my nose hair.
There is a unique satisfaction. But I mean, you got to be careful because if you go too far down, you're gonna hurt yourself, right? You're gonna hit your
drum. Yeah,
your drum. So you just gotta, and again, that's what the camera's for. But it's got a way that you can switch to make it a right ear angle and a left ear angle.
Damn.
It's wild, man. Yeah. So I mean, I'm out here, just sitting here picking my ears almost every other night. Well, that's an embellishment. Probably about once a week or so is when I actually dig this thing out. But yeah, man, it's cool. Instead of taking the damn, my doctor told me about it too. Instead of pushing the stuff on down there, man, you take it out instead of pushing it down.
So when I Q-tip my ears, which I'll give
you the old man advice tomorrow too, buddy.
Yeah. Best home remedies. Oh, we need to put that one on there.
Here we go. I'm loving this. I'm loving your all's actresses here. I can tell your all's character just by your all's nominees on best actresses. I love it.
So when I Q-tip my ears, Wags, it's like, and usually it takes 2 Q-tips per ear because there's that much shit in there. It's like when I Q-tip my ear, it makes me cough.
Well, yeah, because you're stuffing shit down in there.
Yeah, it's like makes me cough.
So you're actually putting more stuff into your body when you're doing the Q-tip thing. You got to get off that. We're getting you off of that today. No more Q-tips.
No. And then I have this nasal thing because my nose. Listen to this.
You got the balloon simulplasty?
I never had that done, but like this one nostril, my right one. When I scratch it, listen to what it does.
I'm good.
I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know either, dude.
I don't know what that's all about.
I have no idea.
I got to get that checked.
Will, how are you, good sir?
I
want to do a show together, buddy. What's going on?
But this side don't do it. Look.
See, I try to have serious conversations. I'm the theory, and he's the chaos. We can clearly see.
No.
We can clearly see this. What's up, brother? How you got? What's going on with you, man? What's up with the slate today? You got a partner in? You need me to sit in with you.
Lone Star Playbook exclusively with Will Turboff today.
Nice. You need one of us to sit in with you?
No, I'm gonna do a full breakdown of the 27 class and kind of get things ready for Jordan to come back on Monday. So
awesome, man. Sounds good. Well, look, I'll be your producer. I'll be sitting in the background, waiting in the wings for you, good sir.
Will, you don't want me to sit here and go like this?
I think
an hour.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Although I might play a recording for the next
just offering. All right. Just offering.
All right, brother. Hey, man. Have a great show. I will be, like I said, I'll be in the background. If you need me, just send me a text message or just say, "Hey, Wags, pop on here and give me some audio or something." All right, bud.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
And I'll end the show for you at the end of it too. All right, buddy.
Sounds good.
Later, bud.
All right. Well, yeah, I am. As I said, here is a Lone Star Playbook as a solo show today. Nick is out at breakfast with the source, and our guest previously planned was not able to make it. So here we are on a Thursday afternoon, the Lone Star Playbook. Not a ton of new recruiting news heading into the day, but as I said in our crosstalk there, have something that we've been wanting to do, me and Jordan have been wanting to do for a while, and today seems like a good time to do it as we kind of shift the focus, as the 2026 recruiting class for Texas is, kind of wrapping up. Like we said, we expect about 4 or 5 more names out of the high school ranks, and then probably about that number, if not double that, out of the portal. We're in the last little bit. We're about 80% through. And this is a super important time for the 27 class on June 15th. That's when all the offers became real and these programs can actually reach out to the, now rising juniors. This time last year, Texas already had a commitment. They actually had 2 commitments in their 26 class already. The head Bell, who committed very early on, and then Chris Stewart, who committed, I believe, almost exactly 13 months ago at this point. Wide receiver in Shadow Creek. At this point, there's not anyone that seems like they're going to join Texas class imminently, but there are a few that could be sooner rather than later. We're going to start off. We're going to go position by position here today. We may only do offense, but we'll just kind of see how long it takes. And today would be a great day for as many questions as possible. So feel free to chip in here. I'm happy to break this up. So the 2027 board, starting at quarterback, and I'm going to share my screen here with the offer list. Just 1 second here. All right, here are the current outstanding offers at quarterback. There's only 3, and really there are only 2 out of these. So you've got Brady Edmonds out of Huntington Beach, California, committed to Ohio State, I believe, in the winter. That one is no longer on the table for Texas and really hasn't been since the summer. So then the 2 offered quarterbacks that you have left are Kavian Bryant out of Palestine Westwood, who has now emerged as maybe the nation's top quarterback in the class. Jordan and I have talked about him, a ton over the last month or so. The dual sport athlete out of Palestine. Averaged over 30 points as a sophomore there in basketball, and then just absolutely lit it up on the gridiron. Texas did not offer him the first couple times they saw him, and then he didn't come for the June 1st elite camp. That's when Texas had Gunnar Rivers on campus. That's when they had Malachi Ziegler on campus. That's when they also had Peyton Houston on campus. Peyton Houston had the offer. He's had the offer since last summer. And the other 2 were not offered. So we had a feeling that, whoever the quarterback was going to be, I believe it was June 7th was that next day, and maybe June 5th, coming up midweek for kind of that smaller camp group. It was Kavian Bryant. Kavian Bryant came in, spent the whole day in town after camp, got to talk to Coach Sarkisian for a long time, got to talk to Milwee for a while, Flood, kind of everyone was involved as Kavian Bryant was offered, and it seems like he's the priority at this point. So right now, we don't have any crystal balls in. And really on June 1st, we thought Peyton Houston was kind of Texas bound. But in the last month and a half, or close to 2 months here, things have really changed. Peyton Houston feels like a USC destination pretty soon here. And Kavian Bryant, SMU is in the mix. Texas Tech is in the mix. That's the school that's given him a really good plan to play both sports. And that's a great, perennially great basketball school. We've mentioned on the show before, it would probably be a while before Kavian Bryant was able to play 2 sports at Texas, just because of everything that goes along with being quarterback at the University of Texas. And he understands that. His family understands that. Back when that offer went out, I talked to his father, who's actually the head basketball coach at Palestine. And he said, they're taking this as, as realistically as possible, and understanding that, maybe some of the best opportunities don't give him a chance to play basketball. So really like him, 6'1.5", 180. And like I said, there's some big time programs in here. Florida State, this is going to end up being a national recruitment, but I do feel like it's one that will end up with him in the state of Texas. And I do feel like it's one that will end up with him at the University of Texas. So really looking forward to see how fast this moves and, how quickly Kavian Bryant is ready to kind of wrap things up here. We really don't know. It could go all the way through the season. It could happen before the season. There's a tight race. Texas has to beat some people out before this becomes a thing. At running back, go a little bit further down here. You see the top name right there, Landon Williams-Callis out of Richmond, Randall, and Houston area. The number 32 prospect, number 2 out of running backs. He is the top running back in the state of Texas. Texas hasn't landed the top running back in the state in quite a few years. And this would be the one that you really want to get. Tashard Choice was fully recruiting Landon Williams-Callis. I mean, going full force for a prospect that was a sophomore. That doesn't happen a ton. It really hasn't happened at all. In this incarnation of the staff with Sarkisian. And we'll see what Choice does. It seems like Choice kind of went heavy on some 27 guys, before before the summer started, really opened up that board, had a lot of his own offers. David Gabriel Georges is the next name on that list. He was offered, in the spring, as was Tyson Robinson down there out of Mississippi, Caden Way out of Georgia. There's a good amount of names on that list that were offered from Choice, and we haven't heard a ton from in that time, or in that time since Choice went to the Lions. But it seems like Landon Williams-Callis, again, it's going to be a national recruitment. Texas has a ton of people to beat out there, and he hasn't been on campus in a long time. So, really interested to see how this one goes. We've kind of heard that maybe Texas is not firmly in the mix at this point. But, a ton of time to go before you really see what happens there. Jacoby Dixon is also on this list. He's really the only other in-state. Actually, I'm wrong on that. He is the mid-level in-state guy. The one after him, right at the end of this list, is Lathan Wisington. Although he's rated as an 87 3-star and the number 29 prospect, 29 number running back prospect in the country. He's considered to be a major target for Texas. Mr. Wisington, if you're watching the show, as I know you have before, thanks for watching, and glad we could talk about Lathan today. Really has everything between the ears. One of the more versatile athletes in the state, out of Midway and Waco, and one that Texas feels like they have a pretty good shot with from the start. Offered on June 1st, was on campus, said he had a great time there. So looking forward to see what happens with Lathan Wisington. We'll go to wide receiver. There are only 5. There's 5 in-state names that I think really are on Texas board at this point. You see Trey Moore right there out of Weiss and Pflugerville. Texas has not added a player out of Pflugerville and has not gone super hard in the Austin area in the last couple of years, just because the talent level has not been there as to what it was maybe in the 22 or 23 classes when Westlake was training out, guys like Burke and Bassick and there were just talent all around in the Austin area. It hasn't been the same in the last few years, but I do think that, a Trey Moore kind of rights the ship for that. Someone that ranked in the top 247 in 2027, the number 19 wide receiver. Tape is phenomenal. He's 6'3", 200. This is one that the Texas will be involved in all the way down the stretch. He's picked up a ton of big offers, but one that I think Texas really thinks they could get done. Julian Caldwell out of Argyle, also in the top 247, right behind Trey Moore, actually 3 spots behind, as the number 22 wide receiver in the nation. He is a lifelong Texas fan and has not been shy to let people know about that. And I know Jordan has talked to him a good amount. He picked up an offer in the spring and then was the only wide receiver to have an offer. I believe there were actually 2. One of 2 wide receivers to have an offer heading into June 1st and then still come to campus and camp. And we heard that Julian Caldwell had a great day while he was at camp. Didn't have a ton to prove. He already had that offer, but just kind of showing off. Alvin Mosley out of Fort Bend Crawford. Chris Jackson saw him in the spring. It's one that we, me and Jordan both connected with and had a chance to kind of talk about on the show a couple months back. A&M was the main team to watch out here, but Alvin Mosley went to A&M after he went to Texas, after he picked up the Texas offer on June 1st. And he was not offered by, the team that is considered to be his kind of dream school. So interesting there. I think we'll still kind of be waiting for an A&M offer to happen. But at this point, I would imagine Texas is the team to beat. Zarek Sidney is the next name on that list out of Goodyear, Arizona, Desert Edge. You may remember the name Desert Edge because there's a prospect to come out of there, Christian Clark, in that area. But a prospect in the 2026 class, Cameron Hamill, was offered by the secondary staff newcomers, Akina and Orfe, shortly after they were introduced. And at the same time, Texas offered Zarek Sidney. Obviously, that was Akina's, kind of area while he was at UA in the Phoenix area. So Zarek Sidney was headed to Dallas for an OT7 tournament, I believe in March. And that was just a couple weeks after he picked up the Texas offer. So he actually made his way down to campus. One of the few out-of-state 27 receivers has seen, been on campus, been on the 40 before. Haven't heard a ton between him and Texas since then. But I would imagine, they have a visit under their belt. If they want to keep going after him, Zarek Sidney seems like a name that would have a chance. As I mentioned, a couple other in-staters on this list, and Tavius Ellis out of Crowley, Bryson Thrower, North Forney, and then Jeremiah Douglas out of Crandall. I had a chance to talk to Jeremiah Douglas at the State 7-on-7 tournament in College Station about a month ago. He said he hadn't talked to Chris Jackson in a couple of weeks, but was, there for June 1st and really loved his time and is hoping to get back on campus at some point early in the fall. And out of the 27 receivers that I think Texas has a good chance with, Jeremiah Douglas, if they go full force on him, almost feels like a sure bet based on the way that he's talked about Texas. There are a couple other schools involved here. It will be a regional recruitment and not a national one. I think this is probably in-state or Arkansas or Oklahoma or someone like that. But time will tell. I believe the last name here, Aiden Starling. I feel like we're talking about kind of the low-end guys that I am super high on in terms of their ranking and my evaluation. Aiden Starling out of Shadow Creek. Texas has a receiver from Shadow Creek in this class, in the 26th class with Chris Stewart. And their footprint is there with Coach Green and everyone at Creek. Aiden Starling said he's firmly committed to the University of Houston and has been for the better part of a year at this point. Transferred from Iowa Colony to Shadow Creek. And man, the connection between Shadow Creek and Houston is even better than what it is with Texas. Taking a ton of guys from there over the years, and that staff has done a good job in the whole, Pearland area. But Aiden Starling did come to campus on June 1st. He wanted to come for an offer. He wanted to pick one up. He wanted to show, if not, doing the camp circuit a lot in the spring, that he still had it. As I said, he's affirmed to me his commitment to the University of Houston. We'll see how long that holds up, though. Texas is going to push hard for this one. Tight end, there isn't a ton to talk about. There are no in-state prospects that have picked up an offer at this point, and really there aren't any other than Jermaine Cooper out of North Crowley that feel like offer candidates for Texas at this point. So you can kind of see they just offered almost all of the top 10 prospects in the country. Ahmad Hudson out of Ruston, Louisiana, is one of my favorite prospects in the country, regardless of class. 6'6.5", 230 as a tight end. You may say, hey, that's basketball height. Well, he's also a basketball player, and he's also being recruited to play basketball, similar to Kavian Bryant at a lot of the same schools that he's offered at football at. LSU is one, the big in-state offer for him, not too far from Baton Rouge, from Ruston. He picked up an offer from LSU football early on and then did the same with LSU basketball. And I believe Louisiana Tech or ULL has done the same thing. And Nebraska has, and I know Baylor has some kind of interest, and that would be a huge part of this if Baylor can offer him, a basketball scholarship, one of the best programs in the country. Texas has expressed interest in basketball. They've not extended an offer at this point. So looking forward to see, this is the number one tight end in the country, and I think sits there pretty firmly. Obviously, Mark Bowman was the top-rated prospect at that position before he reclassified to the 26 class. But Ahmad Hudson he's the golden goose in this class, and he'll be recruited as so. Will very likely come with a heavy compensation package, and that will all depend on is the school that he's going to taking him to both sports or one. Complete national recruitment there. I mean, this is one that could go on the West Coast, on the East Coast, Midwest, Texas, like anything in between. So we've got him. We've got Brock Williams, Jackson Dollar from Illinois and North Carolina, respectively, ranked number 2 and number 5 at the position. They were both offered in late June, around the 25th for both of them. Haven't had a chance to talk to either one of them. Like I said, this one, it feels like Texas just kind of throwing darts at the wall at tight end, as they've done in years before, just offering all the top guys, not feeling too much pressure to offer in-state prospects. So we, it's probably a few more months until we really get a good idea who is on the top of the board here. Offensive tackle, you see the name at the top right there, Kennedy Brown. Me and Jordan, big fan of him. Had a chance to see him in May in Kingwood, where he spent a whole lot of time breaking down what his recruitment process has been like to that point. And then it was just, it was his first full spring, not being injured, being able to show off his talents. He had a major leg injury the year prior that he'd suffered in his freshman year playing sub-varsity ball. But he's fully healthy now, 6'4", 280. He sits firmly as the number one prospect in the state of Texas, as the number one offensive tackle prospect. And there you see the number 2 prospect in the country overall. Texas, when Kyle Flood went out to Kingwood a couple of times, they didn't have a chance to see him on campus in the spring, but there's a good level of communication there. Kennedy Brown is originally from Midwest, or he's spent a good time in the Midwest. I believe that he was actually born in Texas and then spent a good portion of his life in Indiana. And he has got connections to a good amount of programs from the Midwest. Nebraska is one. I can't believe I've mentioned Nebraska in 2 big-time recruitments already in the 27 class. But Nebraska has actually been a team that Kennedy Brown has mentioned more than almost any other. Isaiah Mosey is from that area where Kennedy Brown is from. He's, I believe, the inside receivers coach at Nebraska, but has a huge, recruiting presence for them. Like I said, Texas is still in the mix here. Could go. I think me and Jordan said it last week. Like, this could truly go a dozen different ways in the next year. It's going to be a tough task for Texas to get this one done. Caden Moss ranks as the number 4 offensive tackle in the country at Jackson, Mississippi. He's one that kind of stood out, had a very high ranking in the initial 2026 top 100. Can play both sides, plays at Jackson Academy in Mississippi. He already had every offer in the country. And, it didn't seem like he was going to have a heavy camp schedule. He didn't have a heavy camp schedule, but he did find his way to Texas on June 1st and picked up an offer that day. Like this is not, you're seeing even for the true blue chippers, the guys that will likely be 5-star prospects in a few months here. Texas is not shy to say, hey, you still got to come here and earn your offer. So he did that, was there, not with Malachi Ziegler, but him and Malachi Ziegler were friends. It's the aforementioned, 27th quarterback who was not offered while he was on campus. So Caden Moss, one I'm a big fan of. I think, definitely slots better in an offensive tackle and would love to see Texas keep recruiting. Caden Scott out of Roosevelt in San Antonio has had that offer for a long time. And at this point, almost seems like he's recruiting prospects to Texas. Like when I talked to him on June 1st, he said, well, I wanted to get some other guys out here and show them what it's all about. I know he friends with Jackson Knight and then 28 class and a couple of the other Central Texas guys. Caden Scott will be between Texas and A&M. He's made it pretty clear it's going to be an in-state battle, and maybe the Baylors and the SMUs of the world could get involved here. Although he does have, offers from every major program in the country. Just looking down the sheet here, Ohio State, Tennessee, and as I mentioned, A&M, Texas, the in-state schools. So we'll see where this one goes. But right now, like I said, I do feel like it will be an in-state battle, and I do feel like it's one that Texas has a great chance of landing. A couple of the other in-staters on this list, Brian Swanson out of South Oak Cliff. Haven't heard a ton on him. Early offer, and early on maybe emerged as the second top offensive tackle in the state behind Kennedy Brown. Not sure if that really holds true at this point. But still, a big-time prospect and one that Texas is sure to be involved on. Ismail Kamara out of Gilmer. This is one that I'll have more on today. I'm supposed to talk to Ismail Kamara about, his summer and kind of how things went out. Picked up a ton of offers in the last 2 months or so and by some big-name schools. Since June 1st, he's picked up offers from Texas, from Oregon, Illinois, Michigan, Florida State, and Purdue. I believe that he actually went to Ann Arbor. He made a couple stops. Ismail Kamara plays in Gilmer, but is not originally from there. He's actually not from the state of Texas, and he's not from the United States. Ismail Kamara is French-born. He is the French Freak. Is his new nickname. Hadn't heard that one before. The French Freak. And he has a connection to Derek Brown, ex-Longhorn. And there seems to be something there. If you want a good Twitter follow, Ismail Kamara is the way to go. And you want to see some history from a program. Because anytime he picks up an offer, he, writes a long message about the school, about the history that it has, something that we don't see hardly ever, with these recruits knowing so much about the history of programs. It's something special. And Ismail Kamara is a special prospect on and off the field. Looking at some of the other names here, these were all early offers. I think Jake Hildebrand is one that may have been offered later, but no one out of this list. Marion Johnson, the last in-stater out of Tyler Legacy, he's been on campus a few times. That one, he's been clear. It is Texas and A&M, at least as of March or April. Those were the only two schools that were really standing out, and I do think that if Texas pushed here, they could get this one done. Might have the other ones, like I said, kind of newer offers or ones that have been out for a while, and we haven't heard a ton since then. Interior line, three great names right here. Reed Ramessier out of the First Academy in Orlando, Florida, has offers from SEC country and, everyone in the Southeast, but he still opted to come to Texas. I feel like a broken record at this point, where these blue chip big name prospects, still wanted that offer, still wanted to come to Austin. He had a great time. He spent the whole weekend in Austin, ranked as one of the top interior line prospects in the country. I would assume the Texas will be all after him. And then Peyton Miller out of Anna, the sole in-stater to be offered at the position, or interior at this point. He son of a coach. He's really great mental, great interview. 31 offers at this point, and that's basically every big program in the country. Arkansas, Clemson. I'm trying to see the whole list here, but here we go. Kansas State, Penn State, Tennessee, Texas and A&M. Looking forward to really seeing how that one goes, because I think smaller schools are going to have a chance here. I remember talking to him about a year ago, saying that, a school prestige does mean a good amount to me, but I also want to go somewhere where, I can be developed early on. And I know some of the in-state programs not named Texas and A&M have made that, a big challenge for him at this point. Now I thought maybe we were only going to get to the offensive side, but it's 3:30. It's 10:35. We've got 25 more minutes to go. So we will go through the defensive side. At edge, DJ Jacobs is someone that, could very well be the number one prospect in this class. Texas sent out an offer, I believe, in June. Javaris Guerra, not an Alabama commit. Texas sent that offer out before he committed to Alabama. So not sure if that's one that they'll continue recruiting. Just an in-state prospect, as you always see committing to the Crimson Tide early on. You don't see that in Texas as much anymore, but you do see it in Alabama. That being said, a good amount of those prospects that commit to Alabama early do not actually end up there. Rodney Cleveland, a great example. Someone that was committed to Alabama early on, just because of the in-state pressure, and then opened things back up and ended up at Texas. Caden McCarty out of Cy Falls. Caden McCarty is one of the only prospects to go to 2 different camps on June 1st to Texas, to go to 2 different elite camps. He went heading into his sophomore year, did not pick up an offer, and didn't have really any offers. Blew up, after his sophomore season at Cy Falls. Shout out to Caleb Burns, who was also there, and a couple other, Gabriel Wilson, a couple other big name prospects, or really under recruiter prospects that should be big names. Caden McCarty was the leader of that defense alongside Caleb Burns this past year. Picked up an offer on June 1st, as I mentioned. After seeing his recruitment, go on the rise in the months following that first trip to Texas. Had great things to say about Texas, had great things to say about Lyle Clark and how he's recruited him even before that offer went out. One that Texas will have a very good shot with. Brock Willis, another Alabama offer that went out. Same thing with Cameron Pritchett, where they were out there in June. Cameron Hall also picked up an offer on June 1st. Someone that we don't really know a ton about and that doesn't have a ton of offers, but Texas wanted to get in early there. Defensive line, let's take a look here. Jalen Brewster, there's the big name in the class. Jalen Brewster at Cedar Hill actually has some running back tape, has a good amount. Jalen Brewster's recruitment is moving fast, and I know there were kind of some rumors that maybe he would reclassify. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen at this point, but it does seem like commitment is kind of imminent with him. Oklahoma has done a great job here, and it seems like that's kind of the way he's trending at this point. Enough to the point where people were saying maybe he could, play there, in 2026. I don't actually think that will happen, but I do think this is one that has kind of slipped out from Texas's hand. Kadrian Redmond out of DeSoto, just transferred in to DeSoto. One that Texas has seen a couple times on campus, that they've seen a couple times at a school, and probably out of the in-state names, the surest bet. Although it's not a sure bet at all, the surest bet, out of in this class. I see Cassie Curry right here, the number 247 prospect, the last prospect in the top 247. And he is the teammate of Richard Wesley. He was actually in the same class as Richard Wesley before he reclassified. Before Wesley did. So Cassie Curry, one that they're, if they go in on, would need some help from, at that time, then a Texas player. Miles Smith out of Inglewood, another one of those early spring offers that that went out to prospects from Southern California, like him, and then Amari Vickerson out of Cy Ranch. I've seen some in-state names on the back end here. Amari Vickerson, Texas seen him a ton. There was Cy Ranch for quite a bit, for him and for Calvin Thomas all throughout the spring, and then again in the summer. So Amari Vickerson has been connected to Texas for more than a year now, and is someone that will likely be connected for the next year or so. DeMarco Jenkins out of Pearland, my neck of the woods. Love DeMarco Jenkins. Love what he's got on film, 6'3", 265, and plays every bit of it, and even some more. Kyron Haywood has been a big, a notable prospect in the state of Texas since before he even stepped foot on a high school field. I believe another one that's not originally from Texas, but ended up down in the Metroplex. As you see, doesn't, with that 85 rating, at this point does not, kind of project to the SEC or the Big Ten. And Texas hasn't seen him in a while, so I'm not sure that's one they'll continue to go after. At linebacker here, again, we're hitting the top names. The top names of each of these prospects are always notable. Cooper Witten out of Argyle Liberty Christian, the son of legendary Cowboys tight end Jason Witten. He is, Texas was kind of late here, to be honest. I'm not sure it's going to hurt or help them, but they were well after Oklahoma, Tennessee, some of the programs that have kind of stood out for a while here. See the connections with Tennessee, that's where his father played. Oklahoma, it's not too far away from Argyle, and they've had a chance to go there a few times. So I know Oklahoma's kind of been considered the early leader in this one. But he said some good things to say about Texas. Jason Witten has said some good things to say about Texas. Wasn't able to catch up with him, but I do believe that Jordan was at the State 7-on-7 tournament last month. Originally had a safety evaluation by 24/7 Sports. He was in I believe he was the number 25 prospect. He moved one spot up. Ranked as the number one safety in the country. He's now ranked as the number one linebacker in the country. So a little bit of Jonah Williams action there. As we saw, a couple different evaluations throughout his process. Caden Henderson out of Tampa, at Jesuit High School there. That's an offer that went out, I believe, in March or April. And he pretty instantly, after I checked up with him after that offer, said he was very interested in Texas and would be very interested in coming back at some point soon. Looking down this list, Braylon Williams has had an offer, out of Arlington Lamar for a very long time. And really has offers dating back further than almost any other 27 prospect in this class. Was a guy like Boobie Feaster, like a Zane Rowe, who we'll talk about later on in this breakdown, who emerged early on as the top 27 prospects in the state. Amari Irvin is another one who has, been recruited for the entirety of his high school career, was actually a running back prospect in the Miami area, has since transferred to IMG down the road, and has emerged as one of the top linebackers in the country. At cornerback, John Meredith probably projects as the top cornerback in high school football at this point, and one of the top prospects overall, ranks number 5 in the 2027 rankings. But like I said, I really do think he is one of the best defensive prospects in the entire country, regardless of class. So Texas was able to see him a good amount, a really good amount in the spring. The connection is there. This is one that, they'll have to fight off the Alabamas and the Ohio States and the Georgias of the world, the Oregons of the world. But, Yule's Trinity is a well-explored area for Texas, and would not be surprised to see them kind of carve out a lead at some point in the fall. You would love to see him back on campus, probably early on, for one of those non-conference games. Taylor Mayo, another one that had an offer for a while here, and made it back to campus since then out of Louisville. Really like him. Jalen Hill out of Bosco and Cali. It's another big offer there. Trenton Blaylock, there we go. Trenton Blaylock out of Atascocita. This is one of, as you may be able to see if you're watching on video here, one of a few Houston area offers that went out. Trenton Blaylock, the brother of Torrey Blaylock, who I believe is now playing running back at Wisconsin, another big-time prospect out of Atascocita. Haven't heard anything between between Trenton and Texas since that offer went out on June 1st. But I have heard from the two names right here, Brandon Sherrard out of Shadow Creek and Cornell James out of Manville. I've already talked about Texas's presence in Shadow Creek and how they released the 27 class in this breakdown. But a second prospect of the school to be offered in this class is Brandon Sherrard. Kind of saw a huge rise in his recruitment throughout the spring, but not, Texas level programs. Actually, that's not true. I'm giving a little bit of a discount. A&M is involved here. They offered in April. LSU also did. SMU, Wisconsin, Houston, and then Texas offered on June 1st. Brandon Sherrard, has that connection to Chris Stewart. He has a connection to Aiden Starling. He talked to me about that a couple weeks ago and how it's playing a factor at this point. Kind of same thing, just wait and see. And, I love doing this breakdown, but so much of it is we won't really get a good feel for the board. I mean, really until January, but to an extent in the fall. And then Cornell James at Manville, kind of the same situation there. He's got a lot of friends at Texas. A&M is a team that is, kind of been considered maybe not a dream offer, but a preferred destination for him. That's who Texas will have to compete with there. I do think that an in-state cornerback is almost a guarantee for the 27 class. I think that one of Brandon Sherrard, Cornell James, you see Elijah One Houston there, also out of North Crowley. One of those will probably be in the class out of the mid-level, in-state prospects. And then you would hope that you can land one of, Taylor Mayo or John Merritt. Obviously, there's a big gap there between those two guys. I'm going to break this up for just a second. Some major, huge news of a death. Hulk Hogan has reportedly passed away per TMZ. Here, we're going to pull this up right here. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at 71 years old. Knew that he was having some health problems. Man, this is completely coming out of left field. Obviously, we know the controversy and the missteps that Hulk Hogan had over the last dozen years or so. But, a cultural icon in 80s and 90s America. So that's definitely something. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan as we get through this 2027 breakdown for Texas football recruiting. Here as we get to the last little bit, just talked about the cornerbacks. Now we'll head to safety. Honor Falave Johnson out of Cathedral Catholic in San Diego, California. Picked up an offer in June. Had a chance to speak with him and let me know that, the schools on the West Coast do have a leg up. USC is the one that stood out early on. I know Oregon will also have a chance, but that he's planning on coming down to Texas at some point. And at that point, we'll probably have a better idea. Jaquan Snell out of Hatchie has had a Texas offer for a very long time and actually returned. One of the, as I mentioned earlier, were just a few prospects that, returned to campus for the elite camp while already holding an offer. He was one of them, as was Eli Johnson out of Steele. He's one that probably has a better chance of joining the class out of those two right now, but both, seem trending in the right way for Texas. Out of the other ones here, Texas doesn't have, doesn't seem to have made waves with any of these out-of-staters. There's a ton of Alabama, Georgia, and California on this list, and not a ton else. So that'll be one that Texas probably widens their board in throughout the fall. And then at athlete, here are two pretty dynamic prospects. Myson Johnson-Cook, the starting running back for DeSoto last year. So Myson Johnson-Cook transferred into DeSoto, and he actually transferred into another school in the state of Texas, was technically enrolled at both during a sophomore year after moving in from Illinois. We have gotten, I don't know full confirmation at this point, but it is assumed that Mikeson Johnson Cook has taken his talents back to the state of Illinois, and that will probably hurt Texas' chances. We don't really know what the communication level was like. This has been an oddly quiet recruitment for kind of where he's ranked, number 25 prospect in the country, number 2 athlete, projects at both sides, but probably as a running back to the next level. That's one that I don't know that we'll hear a ton on with Texas in the next few months, especially if he has in fact moved back to the Midwest. And then Zane Rowe out of Guyer. Zane Rowe was committed to Oklahoma for, I believe, about 6 months following his freshman season, into his sophomore season, and then decommitted right around the start of the calendar year. Since then, has still been connected to Oklahoma. He was at Texas for the January Junior Day. As mentioned, he's one that has long time been a prospect of note in the state. In Guyer, originally from the Waco area, blanking on Williamson, something like that, town from right in that area. Zane Rowe has the athlete tag. He is very likely a defensive prospect at the next level. He has said that Jeff Banks has reached out to him to play tight end, but that was a while ago, and I'm not sure that still really holds. So there you have it. The full offer list for Texas. At this point, we can talk about who Texas could evaluate in the 27 class in state, but it's really just throwing darts on the wall at this point. Can't predict anything beyond just pure guesses. So there you have it. As I said, no one feels like a sure bet in this class yet. There is as much movement as there have been in the summer setting into prospects junior season. But still some names that we'll probably have to, be very familiar with by the time that October and November rolls around. As I kind of started off with, and if you're joining now, quarterback is the one that everyone's interested in, so I'll just kind of re-break that down. You see 3 outstanding offers at quarterback. Only 2 of them hold as pretty evidence as a firm commitment to Ohio State and Texas. Not super interested in staying in that one. So Peyton Houston has had the offer for the better part or over a year now. Has been at Texas 3 or 4 times since then. Had mentioned them as one of the top teams in his recruitment, although we have heard that USC is now the team to beat and may have already secured his commitment. So then it leaves you with Kavian Bryant out of Palestine Westwood, the dual sport athlete, and that's who we feel like has a great chance of jump starting this Texas 27 class. There are a good amount of in-state names, though, that I didn't mention the first time around. Colton Nussmeier, the brother of Garrett Nussmeier, the son of Doug Nussmeier, the longtime assistant coach in the NFL and in college. LSU obviously had a leg up there, given that his brother is, in line to be a Heisman candidate and a first-round pick as the starting quarterback there, and someone who waited out a long time and was passed up several times with the starting spot, something I think isn't covered a ton with Garrett Nussmeier and LSU. So obviously LSU, should be thought of as maybe not the team to beat, but one that if they pushed, they would probably have a very good chance at. And then Weston Nielsen out of Bastrop. Texas hasn't taken a quarterback from the Austin area since Charles Wright in 2021, and he was never, really in line to start. He was a backup take kind of from the start, although he was a scholarship prospect. Fun fact, is no longer playing college football. He did transfer to App State, didn't end up playing there, though. Didn't end up staying in Boone for the season and moved back to Austin after he'd already graduated to find a job. So that's kind of circling back to a couple of things, but there you have it. I'm going to head out here a couple minutes early, but if you have any last questions here, whether it's about the 27 board or Hulk Hogan or anything in between, we'll get to it. But for now, we'll send us off. Up next on the Texas Sports Unfiltered app, but this is a good one. We've had some good ones this week. Phil Steele of Phil Steele Magazine fame sits down with SEC Unfiltered to preview the 2025 season. So there you have it. said thank you for sticking along with me on my solo show today. I'll be back tomorrow with Jordan, I'll be back tomorrow with Nick, and then next week Jordan will be back from his lounging vacations in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm Will Turboff. Thank you very much for listening to the Lone Star Playbook. I'll see you tomorrow.